practice and we get to this point where we're like ready to rock, and then it doesn't work. Oh, wait. Oh, 2 seconds in. 3 seconds in. Let's see here. Yep.
We are live.
We are live. We're live.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We're live. Welcome. Oh, exit that. All right. Okay, wait, well, let me do one thing.
Sadu, hello.
All right, let's see here. Let's get Jerry full screen. All right, cool. This is awesome. Wow. Okay, so we're here again, episode 7. Tubi, Nick D.
Welcome back.
Tonight's episode is about Star Wars Visions, and we have a special guest, Mr. Brendan Kelly.
Yes.
BK, I would say, is the most knowledgeable Star Wars fan.
For sure.
I, as a child, I used to think that I was.
Well, out of the three of us sitting here is what you're saying.
Out of the overshow.
Yeah.
No, I don't give a fuck about anyone outside of us. I'm talking about strictly us, yeah. I used to think I was, growing up, you know what I mean? Growing up, I was like, I know my Star Wars. Star Wars got me through some hard times. You know what I'm saying? And then BK, in the later years, he is so knowledgeable, it's aggravating how much knowledge and shit he has. So
It all came out of the Clone Wars. I watched all the Clone Wars.
Well, it's more than that. You've read all the fucking comics. You've done this, that, the other.
I mean, not all of them, but...
Yeah, well, the newer run, not like the OG comics too. Because we'll talk about. There's an OG comic reference in tonight's little combo.
Let's see
We also have Jarvis Jerry. Don't forget it.
Of
You
course.
can't see Jerry. Tonight's a whole new setup. Sorry for the delay, Sadu. We're trying to get a whole thing going, and we got Jerry. Jerry, say hello to the fans.
Hello, fans.
Boom, there he is. We got a whole new setup. Hopefully we'll have some more improvements as time goes on. We got BK now kind of assisting producing the show loosely with us. Me and Nick D are pumped.
Hell yeah. Super pumped.
So we'll hop right into Visions. We have 9 episodes to talk about. I wrote down some notes. Overall, loved it. It was a blast. It was a fantastic blast.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I thought it was, like you said, just like fun.
Yeah.
And at times really heavy, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Hopefully they do more, you know.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping for that.
So the first episode we're going to discuss is The Duel. Motherfucker got that fucking name. Starts off black and white, has some splashes of color. I like the look of it.
I thought this was such a great opener to it, too. I was like, dude, like, when I first saw it, I was like, how are you going to top this episode? Like, that one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's very, like, classic samurai stuff
Yeah.
going on, you know?
But it was an interesting look.
Grainy. Like, it made Star Wars feel, like, dirty and gritty. And
Have you seen any animation like that before?
I feel...
Beast?
Like, no, like, maybe, but nothing comes to mind. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
Very unique. It was very unique.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
Like almost like ink drawings come to life. You're, animated, I should say.
Yeah.
Did you see Wolf Walkers?
No,
movie?
I don't know what that is.
Hulu or-
No, it's on Apple TV Plus.
Oh,
It was like
Apple
an
TV.
Irish animation studio, and like it doesn't look like that, but
Yeah.
some of the graininess, like
It's up for an
it's
Oscar
in
last
color
year.
and stuff, so it doesn't look the same. But
Right? Up for an Oscar?
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year?
I gotta check this out. It's on Hulu or no Apple TV?
Apple TV.
Okay,
Apple
I'll check
TV.
it out.
super good.
Yeah.
Super good.
Yeah. Oh,
But
Jerry's
it's
got
like
some
it's
right
just
here.
it's way different animation than like
That's it, Jerry, right there on the screen that we're seeing?
Wolf Walkers.
That was what the animation looked like? I thought it was different.
Wolf Walkers or Visions?
Wolfwalkers.
We've got both up there.
Yeah, on our
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the screenshots of it make it look like it's like all calm and basic, but
Yeah.
the action of it is like that's where I feel. I don't know. It's like at least sort of similar to that first episode.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
I really like off tops. We see this really interesting R2 unit
Yeah.
with the crazy little hat.
He's got
on.
the straw hat.
Yeah. And I instantly wrote down a note like, Jerry's playing the fiddle. Thanks, Jerry. Loving it. Jarvis Jerry over here killing it.
He just showed the lightsaber. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get to that lightsaber for sure. But that off top, that R2 unit with the hat.
Yeah.
I mean, that caught my eye instantly. I was like, that R2 unit.
That was
looks
maybe the
so
first
cool.
like droid thing where it was like, whoa, that's crazy. Since like the R2, was it R2 unit in Mandalorian with the legs or whatever?
Yeah, and
And
that
popped
was
it with the legs and arms.
was a
And you're
beefy
just
one.
like, what?
Yeah.
Crazy droid.
Yeah. The bandits. Then when we get introduced to these, I don't know if you would call them bounty hunters or what they were. The group, the bad guys.
They're more like bandits than bounty hunters.
Yeah, definitely. They're in stormtrooper outfits.
Yeah, like
Semi-
cobbled together. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Interesting look right there off tops. And now here's where I'm gonna hit you, BK. Off tops. Now that we've seen these stormtroopers, are we taking place where? I know this. I'm gonna preface this for the whole night. We know that none of this is canon.
Yeah.
None of this takes place in the Star Wars universe that we're used to.
Yeah.
The 9 movies.
Well, it does, it doesn't, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could place this though, and this also is unique. If you could place this, where would you place this?
I think it's
Just
got to
from
be
that
like way far back in the timeline because that guy's going around collecting red crystals, which
Yeah.
assumedly means Sith
Yeah.
or dark side. And
Yeah.
the only time we know of like lots of Sith running around is like the way far flung past, which we've never seen anything from. But like there was supposedly the Jedi and the Sith fought some like great war, right? And then
So
they like
pre-episode
wiped out the
1.
Sith. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hundreds or thousands of years before that or something. Probably.
Okay.
I mean,
Really,
my
really
guess.
long.
Yeah.
Really, really
Because
long.
I don't know what other part of the timeline that we've seen, or like the far-flung future, I guess. Because like
Yeah, yeah.
there has to be a bunch of people wielding
They say after a
red
war. though.
lightsabers for him to go.
They
It
mentioned
could be-
after
it could-
a war.
So maybe it could be post, like I forget what they call it, but it's like the Great War or whatever between the Sith and the Jedi.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
they thought they defeated them, and then they had like the Republic era.
Wait, here we go.
Uh,
Takes place after Rise of the Skywalker.
that they say that does.
Where did
So
you
that's,
see that?
that's
Jarvis
pretty
Jerry,
cool.
that's in reference to...
Oh, the highlighted part. Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Wow. Which is interesting. Because
So, yeah,
how would it
that's
have so
crazy.
many dark
Yeah,
crystals?
where do you get all these red crystals from?
Yeah. Makes it seem like there's a lot more Sith going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
than what meets the eye.
But it could be in the. It doesn't say when after Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah,
so
right.
it could be way in the future.
And I feel like all of these episodes really do make like the universe or galaxy or whatever's bigger, I don't know, seem really big. So it is
Yeah.
possible that this is just some like backwater system that like maybe there were a bunch of Siths, or like maybe that dude, I don't know, maybe that dude's got like an emperor thing. Maybe that dude's older than he looks.
Yeah. What happens to the people in Exegol or whatever at the end of that movie?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of crazy cultists. They get blown up, I think, or something. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe there's others on other ships and they go scattering about, and I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
My next note was about the young boy. He stands up and says he's the leader.
Yeah.
It cuts to a shot of, assumably, his father.
Mm-hmm.
Is he dead? Asleep? What was going on there?
I don't know. I first thought asleep was, and I was like, but he's just asleep. That doesn't make any sense. What's he doing sleeping over there? There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it kind of felt like he was the leader of that town. Like, and like, so it's like, I don't know, like maybe that dude, his dad is dead, and he's now.
It's just a random shot of the dead dad.
Yeah, maybe.
Or he's
I
like
don't
so
know.
sick he's dying, like he's
Right,
like
yeah,
on
right.
his deathbed kind of thing.
Not able to fight, at least.
Yeah.
And then we meet the Sith lady. I don't think we catch a name.
No, I don't
I-
think so.
Not
You
that
know.
I remember, but
Yeah.
oh man, her lightsaber is like the coolest thing I ever seen.
She was. I think she's one of the coolest Sith so
Yeah.
far. Like in all of Star
Like in the
Wars.
cartoons, there's the oh my gosh, what do they call them? The
Grievous? Or no, cartoons. My bad.
No, and Inquisitors.
Oh,
Inquisitors.
yeah, yeah.
And they have those crazy lightsabers that like spin around, and they fly with them and whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so like hers was like that, but like
Grievous
to a
kind of
whole
does
other
too.
level.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
helicopter.
spinning thing,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
hers was like one with all the spokes, and when she throws the other
And
thing
she
off,
pulled
and it's
it out.
actually just the
Yeah.
one. Like
Yeah.
that blew my mind. I was
Yeah.
like,
And we also see a lot of cameos, not from actual characters necessarily, but species.
yeah.
We had BK's better with the terminology here. We had what, Bosk, whatever
He's
his
Trandoshan.
He's a Trandoshan. And then we had homie from episode 1 from the pod racing. His species,
Yeah, Sebulba.
Sebulba. What is
Yeah.
he? You can recall?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know.
Jarvis Jerry. Can you look up
They
Sebulba?
even say it. They say what it is even in
That
the,
might be a hard word to spell
in the
there,
first
Jerry, I don't
movie
know.
because SEPU.
And then there's also that unit that I don't. It's not an R2 unit. Obviously not.
I think
Yeah.
are they called Dougs? So
Oh, okay.
was a male Doug.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, we got that.
Doug.
Another really.
Yeah, he's inside the little thing from Empire.
Yeah.
One of those. What the hell are those
It was
things
like
called?
the spider legs.
Yeah. I love that thing. Makes an awesome
I don't know what
noise.
they're called.
Yeah. And then there's also that droid, who is a bounty hunter. Not he wasn't a bounty hunter, but we saw a version of that in Empire. That same droid, right, with the weird
Yeah.
kind of bug face.
Yeah.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we see that same droid also in an episode of Mandalorian? He was a part of that team with Bill, the comedian. That episode that had Bill Burr. And they had
He
that
had his whole squad.
that
Yeah,
little
yeah.
squad. There was one of those dudes also part of that.
Yeah.
Same similar robot. There's probably a term for that robot. Go down, Nick. Oh, it's not that.
Oh, there's definitely a term for it. There's a term.
Oh yeah, there's a term for fucking everything. There's not a term. But some cool little like species cameos going on that I thought was cool.
It's like you didn't know where you were, what was going on,
right.
but it still felt like Star Wars.
Right. Awesome. So the Sith lady, I thought she was badass until she popped off the hood, and then I thought she kind of looked like a clown. The hair was coming out. She was kind of clowny looking.
It reminded me of
it was kind of a little bit like, oh, whoa. Caught me off
think
guard.
about it at the time.
That hair caught me off guard.
Yeah.
my head went right to Afro Samurai.
Okay.
I was like,
of course,
oh, that's... So really quick, XJ9, CS14.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a name or what are these things called? They're
Viper
probe droids.
Yeah, probe droid. That's what I remember.
Probe droid. Yeah, totally. But he's like gutted it, and he's like riding inside of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's cool.
Yeah. That image Jared's got up right there. Almost
That's
like
so...
this kind of Kylo Ren-esque.
Yeah, totally the Knights of Ren kind of like vibes.
Or that dark lady from the Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh, Saz Ventress. She's definitely giving off strong Ventress
until
vibes.
she pops off the hood, and then it like didn't ruin the episode or anything, but it definitely took it down a notch for me. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you hate every time anyone takes their mask off. And their hood down.
True.
Yeah.
You're a lot, especially on the Sith side of things.
Yeah.
You are a lot spookier.
Unless you're the Emperor, you should always have your mask on.
He should always have his hood up.
Yeah.
If the Emperor doesn't have his hood up, not as spooky.
It's pretty. It's good to see him put it up though. It's like
See, look at that, dude. Come on.
I kind of love it, to be honest. I'm like, oh, that's so sick.
It's kind of got like a viral vibes or something.
I mean, that's Pennywise's hair. That's exaggerated Pennywise.
It came out at me. I had to write it down.
I totally see what you're saying.
It down in the notes.
I still got a mask though.
Yeah.
What do you call that mask? There's a term for that.
Like a gator?
Is that what? No.
Well, I mean, like in hunting,
in Japanese culture, though.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but it's like a part of the samurai armor.
Yeah, hold on. Jarvis Jerry's pulling up something for us right here. There's a name for that.
Is there a wiki page or something?
Well, the mask.
Mempo.
Okay.
A lot of Mempos. Good guys and bad guys in this series.
A lot going on. My next thing, through that episode was I love the line, fix my robot, or I think it says droid, right? Fix my droid before the water is done boiling.
Yeah, and I feel like that's
amazing
such like a samurai or like cowboy. Like it's the same kind of thing of like flipping up the coin and then doing
sounds like something Mando would have said.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just a great little line.
For sure.
There's not a lot of talking or dialogue in this episode.
Yeah, you're right.
It wasn't a ton. It wasn't like a real in-depth dialogue episode.
And I feel like pretty much any time the Wanderer said anything, I had to like rewind and turn it up because he's so soft spoken that it is just like, what did he say? And it's like 3 words, It's like
had an element of like what's he about? Like you still don't know, up until he pulls the lightsaber out. And even when he pulls the lightsaber out, you're like, what fucking team is he on? And you're very taken back.
And even she's like, you're a Jedi, but then he pulls out a red lightsaber.
She was like,
they both have the same lines that it's like, I think he was a Sith and at some point parted. Like I don't think he took that lightsaber from someone. I think that was his.
It seems like some Sith did him dirty and then he decided
he's supposed to kill your Sith, right?
Like,
whatever.
Yeah,
that's the droid I was talking about. That you definitely see a similar droid to that in The Mandalorian as well as in Empire.
I literally just saw one of those. There you go. AP5.
AP5.
And what are they? And so that might be his name. What are they called?
Interesting.
Yeah, just protocol droid. RA7 protocol droids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love that line. It stood out to me. How to write it down. And then my next thing was about how is he a Jedi? Is he not? We kind of just discussed that. It's kind of left up in the air. Even at the end of it, you really don't know what side he laid on.
When he gives the kyber crystal to the kid, doesn't he say like take this, it wards off evil or something like that, right? Like I was taken aback by that too because I was like, what do you mean this wards off evil? Like this is evil.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They bleed him red and like turn him to the dark side or whatever. So I was confused by that. I don't know what the kid's supposed to do with the kyber crystal.
And this is the beginning of us seeing a lot of kyber crystals throughout this whole series.
For sure.
Kyber crystal plays a big element.
Just a lot lot of like lightsaber stuff.
Totally,
yeah,
a lot of lightsaber stuff.
Other episode, but yeah, the whole like lightsaber builder and everything.
Well, my last note before we'll just to say what kind of rating we gave that first episode is the epic trick of the waterfall. I loved that. It was so badass because when you're watching, you really think it's him behind that waterfall.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had put it in this like almost like a Buddha-esque statue.
Yeah.
And then she comes through. She parts it using the log, uses her forces to move the log, parts the water, and then jumps through. And then he uses that just to lace her up. Was just a highlight of the episode.
For sure. Like it wasn't like it ended on like one of them died. It was like, whoa, wow.
The log battle had a lot of vibes of episode 3. Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
Totally. Yeah.
Also, the last episode 9, a little bit of an Anakin, or not Anakin, Jeez McGee's. Kylo Ren versus on the destroyed Death Star. Had a lot of those vibes, but then that ending with the trickeroony, loved it. It was the icing to the cake of the episode. Yeah. Then obviously we already went over. He gives the kyber crystal, the evil kyber crystal, to the young boy whose father owns the city or whatever.
What has he got? Like 6, 7, 8 in his jacket or whatever.
Yeah, it's like lines inside. Yeah.
So that's kind of the end of that episode 1, the duel, and we'll do this for each episode.
Yeah.
Number 1, would you like to see another one out of that? Number 2, where do you rate that? BK, you go first.
Well, number 1, yes, I would like to see more of that, and apparently there's going to be a novel about, I think that follows up on that.
Based around
I'm so down.
I really want to read that novel. Yeah. I'm curious to see that.
We'll do a book review.
I'd probably give it I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we usually do letter A to F. Yeah, we do usually A to F.
If you love something, you can also do S too.
Yeah, that's an A.
Like S.
Yeah, that
super tier. Super tier is S.
Yeah.
Okay.
That first one was such an A that I was slightly taken aback by the rest when nothing else had that kind of animation.
I was like animation that much.
Yeah, because it was just so old school looking samurai craziness. I was like, oh, they're gonna be more like this, and then it was the only one, which made it even more stand out, I guess. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see more of that.
Nick.
I loved it. I just want to really quick look up this studio just to see what else they did. But yeah, I loved it. I think this was a great choice for the first episode. As soon as it started, I was in. I was all the samurai vibes and everything, and how we were talking about Star Wars is essentially a samurai story.
Yeah.
So it's I loved it. I loved the look of it. I love the characters. I love that it's very quiet, like you're talking about. There's really no dialogue. It's really just style and vibe. And so I'd give it an A. It's up there tied with my favorite. I don't know, I feel like I could argue that that was my favorite, or there's a couple others later that I'm maybe that one was my favorite.
Kamikaze Duga? I think I heard someone pronounce it Duga.
Okay.
Are you supposed to say it?
I want to say Duga. That sounds right. And I'm just trying to pull up their... I don't think I've seen... Oh, so they've done JoJo. Okay, so they did the Batman Ninja thing. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
So these dudes are dope. Yeah, for sure.
Is the black and white the kind of the thing they do usually?
It's kind of similar animation style. I don't think it's as gritty. I feel like they were able to go really ham on how it looks because it's only 15 minutes, so they could probably pour millions of dollars into 15 minutes rather than spread it across. That Batman movie's probably 2 hours. Yeah, that's the page I'm looking at, Jer. If we can find this page for each of the studios, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
As we kind of go through them.
What was
But you give it an overall A.
I'd give it an A.
I'd love to see more.
I'd love to see more. I had not heard about this book.
I just heard
for sure pre-ordering this book as soon as it's available.
Yeah. It's a book, not a comic.
Yeah, it's a novel. That's
either way, I'm down. Yeah, I want action figures.
Follow that character probably. Yeah. Jared has the book right here, Vision's novel.
Is there any kind of date or anything like that, Jared? Doesn't look like it. I bet they're working on it.
Yeah, maybe at the...
See, I actually different from you guys because the way I looked at these Vision episodes was that storyline good enough to end on its own? And I thought that one, from beginning to end, from him entering and you meet him... I'm sorry, Jerry, November 12th is when the book comes out? Oh, October 12th.
October 12th.
Oh, wow,
right on.
Whoa. Right around the corner. We'll have to have you back on, BK.
Wow. Yeah.
Discuss the book.
Jared, really quick, can you also just hit Amazon? Is it available for pre-order? I'm such like a simp for Star Wars. I'm already take my money.
Pre-order now.
Boom.
Wow.
That's what I'm
pre-order that.
We got stuff we gotta buy for this show. I'm gonna buy that first. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for me, like, I loved it. I thought it's definitely an A. Thought it was a strong way to begin it. Definitely an A, you know. It wasn't necessarily my favorite. We'll get into it later with what my favorite was. But I thought from beginning to end, it's cool. Yeah, a book, sure.
Yeah.
But I also thought that one out of the other ones didn't necessarily have to have a follow-up. It could end. There is no. And that's what I liked about it. That's why I gave it an A. Because for me, some of the other ones I'm going to rate them a little bit harder because they ended in a way of like, well, that's not a, you weren't like satisfied. That one ended, and that's why I think it was a great jumping off point because it starts, you meet him, it ends, he hands the crystal to the young boy, he's out, and you don't necessarily
like a classic like samurai cowboy movie where it's just like off into the sunset, kind of like.
I don't necessarily need a follow up. Would it be cool if they did it? Yes, but I don't have to have it, and that's what I enjoyed about it. So yeah, overall, awesome. Our next episode...
Real quick.
Yeah, of course, Nick T.
Jerry, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yes. Jerry is actually... no spoilers.
That's probably my favorite episode.
Favorite for Jerry. Letter rating?
I mean, for me, the top S. Like, that was...
Oh, S.
We'll do our first S of the night. Jerry's giving it an S.
Jerry's giving it an S.
You know, it reminds me of Blade of the Immortal.
Yeah, there's something later that when as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, Blade of the Immortal. We'll get to it when we get there.
Okay. So Jerry's giving it a high rating. No spoilers tonight for Jerry. Before we get into episode 2, Jerry, is Sadu in the chat?
He is.
Oh, wow. Let's get some, Sadui.
Right around the corner. We're pre-ordering, baby.
Okay. Great. Awesome, Sadu. Good to have you here tonight.
This is the Star Wars Book Club.
As we move through them, Sadu, just put your answers in the chat as well. Like rating, do you want more? You know, like just,
And Jerry will fill us in.
Yeah.
And Jerry will fill us in.
Yeah.
Episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody. Did I say that right?
You did.
Jerry, am I good? I'm good, Jerry. I loved it. You know I can see a lot of people hating on this one. I loved it because, and BK knows this, music to me plays a big element in the Star Wars universe. I love, you watch New Hope the first time we see it, the music, the band, the bar band. I know there's a name for them. I can't think of it.
The Cantina Band.
I think there's actually, look that up. I think there might be an actual name. Yeah, I think
so. It'd be cool if it was like the Skywalker Killers or something. You know, they have some like metal name that we just never hear.
But I feel like
the band in the episode.
No,
the Cantina Band.
Yeah,
what is the name of the band in the episode? I already forgot.
Star Waivers.
I don't even think I caught that. I don't even think I picked up on that.
I need a Star Waivers t-shirt.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yes. like a tour t-shirt. Yeah. Do they have a name, Jared, that band?
Oh, the name of the track is Cantina Band. That's okay.
Yeah, but I swear, BK, they have a title.
They probably do.
Jared, it's below. Go down. Keep going. Is it Friggin' Dan? Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. Modal Nodes, those are both, that's a musical reference. Modes and...
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if those are musical references, but I think
they had a name.
It's like a play on word.
And they appear in the episode, which we'll get to in a moment. But just to build it up a little bit, the minute it started and they're playing and all that, I was sold. Because music, Star Wars, hand in hand. Totally. So that to show a band and what they're going through in the Star Wars universe, and then it connects to other stuff which we all know I love, especially connecting to the original 3.
Yeah,
loved it. But band in the Star Wars universe, sold on it.
Yeah.
And then immediately, pretty quickly on, we immediately see Boba Fett. Which
again, before we jump ahead, is that the biggest cameo of this?
It's the only cameo.
It's like
okay.
I mean, the Jabba's there. So
Jabba, and what's
but it's all in this episode, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So
I think everything else is like new characters.
So it's also what's his name too's there. Not Boba Fett. Jabba Hutt's assistant.
The dude with the tail around his head.
Shit. Can't think of his name right now.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Jabba's assistant.
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna.
Yes, dude. Love that guy. He's classic. Awesome. And it's the actual actor who voices the character. Not the original, though. The one-liner he had back in the day, right? It's not, although I'm sure they've gone back and changed it out. Yeah.
added in walkie-talkies.
No, I think in the new version, I believe it is his voice.
They edited it, right?
Yeah, I don't remember who the original
which is bullshit.
Is.
Yeah, which is bullshit. Fine and dandy. It's we know.
George did it too.
Yeah.
He's the one who probably put it in.
I'm still. yeah, totally. Because it would have been Django. Django's voice.
I didn't know it was JGL until you said. I didn't catch that.
I didn't realize until after I watched it all that it was Joseph Gordon.
Oh, I told you that the other night on the phone.
Yeah, you told me too.
Yeah, which I thought was amazing. Yeah. Great fit. The main star, Jay, who is a Padawan who must have escaped. And that's where I ask you, BK, for this episode, it seems to me that the timeline would be right after Anakin Skywalker has, cut up all the children.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just making an assumption.
I can't tell how old the kid is.
He's a child, though, assumably, right?
Or or a teenager.
Yeah,
maybe he was a young
15 or
so
younger.
Maybe he was like 6 or 7, and now he's like 16 or 17 kind of thing or something. So maybe it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it feels like some time has passed. Because Boba Fett is like.
What do you got here? Takes place before New Hope. Yeah, that's kind of what I assumed.
Yeah. But it seems like it's a little further after the whole Order 66.
Well, because they still have pod
time
races.
has passed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's like
I don't think that much though, because
you're right, because there was pod
race and all that, and by the time we catch up with Jabba in
we don't know.
Return of the Jedi
going on.
Yeah, he might still be doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
But he looks a lot older. This is kind of a little bit of a younger Jabba from the looks of it.
It's probably in the middle somewhere. There's like 20 years, right? So it's it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Awesome. Of course, this episode, the first episode we didn't get this, and we get this a lot throughout the whole Vision series. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, yeah. It feels like it's every episode, but I don't think it is.
No, because we didn't get it in the first one.
Okay.
It's not every single one.
It's not every single one. But we do get it in episode 2. Mm-hmm. Loved it.
Yeah.
Love whenever they can throw that in. I mean, and Jared's got an image here you guys can't see, unfortunately, but there was a lot of, not just, we know Jabba, we know Bib Fortuna, we know Boba Fett, but there was a ton of just classic alien species.
That Greedo lady?
Yeah.
I don't know what her race is.
Yeah. Just but a ton, And the thing I noticed too is that a lot of the shot value or whatever you would say from what we've seen of the pod racing, it was almost identical views of the stadium.
Yeah. It was like
interesting.
I
didn't even pick up on that.
From like episode 1.
Even that sheep that's flying, the flying.
Oh, that he.
There's one also over the crowd, like almost like sun protecting the crowd. And if you go back, it's almost identical. I saw a little matchup somewhere on the internet where it like showed scene for scene, and it's pretty accurate, which I thought was awesome. Really cool.
My bad, Jared, go back really quick. Did people give Visions a 5.5 or this episode? Wow, people did not like this.
Yeah, people did not like this episode. And that makes me like it even more.
Yeah,
fuck you, fake Star Wars.
It's very punk rock. If you think about what Star Wars is, the whole episode is kind of almost anti-Star Wars. Yeah. There's no violence.
They just want to rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very punk.
They just want to rock and roll.
Well, I think too, I don't know, going from the first episode to this episode, they're probably the two most different.
Polarizing.
So if you were got really into the first one, you were primed for more of that, and then the second one comes and you couldn't get over the fact that it wasn't the first one, then you're thinking about that the whole time you watch the second one. And you're probably just pissed off, I guess. But
I really like the droid that's also a member of the group. I wrote that down.
Oh, how he's just it reminded me of Lou Dog and Sublime, how he's just running around the stage.
It was just a cool looking droid too.
A lot of cool droids
and it had a speaker or whatever, and it was able to play their first show. It was a cool little droid. I thought it was a great little asset.
The singer, his lightsaber, I think.
Yeah.
It was he turned into a microphone, which I don't quite understand, but...
Well, that's why I thought when he says that line, I was led to believe that they were going to, kind of pull a Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi,
for sure,
and turn on everyone, and he was going to, turn on the lightsaber and start cutting people down.
Yeah.
I like how they didn't do that.
No,
They didn't play into that. He does call out to Jabba, kind of similarly.
It is kind of a similar, he says we're going to give you a chance, or something like that, right?
But then he's like, you guys can be our sponsor.
I died of laughter, honestly, when he said you could be our first sponsor. I was like, no.
Loved it. All that. Okay, so then they while they're playing at the pod racing, they show a quick shot of the bar band at the cantina. And they, to me, looked bummed. They were like, fuck these kids. And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, because they're all like old boomers, and here's like some new like punk rock band.
They're like a jazz band.
Amazing.
Like Miles Davis over here. Like, what the hell is this Ramones?
And then, I mean, there's not much else to say about this episode. I thought it was just a fun time. And my favorite part, though, was Jabba and Boba Fett rocking out. They were having a great old time.
Which I feel like on paper, I would hate that. But when they actually pulled it off, actually seeing Boba's kind of like observed, like head nod, I was like, dude, they even got Boba.
Yeah, and the tails happened.
Yeah, I love that. Because normally I would be like, that's so fun.
But the way it was drawn,
loved it. Yeah,
it's so brightly colored.
Exactly.
It's a giant.
It's almost like in the cartoon they could get away with doing that, but in live action, if Boba Fett was like dancing or something, you'd be like, this is weird.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go first on this one. I give this an S tier.
S tier. We got two S tiers tonight. 2 S tiers.
Mainly also because people are hating it, and that just pisses me off enough to go, no, I loved it. Fuck you guys.
I love it. Contrarian. I love it.
Fake ass Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Like,
would you want more? Do you want this? You want more of the Star Waivers?
Well, here's the same thing I said about.
Waivers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Star Waivers, Jared?
Waivers.
I think it would be cool if they did. I think with that rating, they probably won't. This will be the one that doesn't get one.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that the storyline as a whole, it kind of we forgot to mention too that the kids, one of the bass player or whatever, he's related to.
Yeah, he's a Hutt.
He's a Hutt.
They didn't say exactly the connection, but yeah, he's
cousin, nephew.
He's in the mafia.
Yeah.
Is Boba? What is? He's
Jabba.
Mafia.
Yeah, basically. I mean, they built some of the Hutts out more in some of the cartoons, but yeah, they're basically like an extended crime family.
Yeah, they're crime lords. Crime lords. Yeah. I mean, here's my thing, Nick. I thought it was great One Piece, beginning to end. You don't need more of it.
No.
But I was telling BK this the other day. What I think would be cool to do with them would be to, like, in a Star Wars movie that takes place around that time period, there's a rock poster on the wall.
Or even,
they're playing a show.
Yeah,
how they go through.
Where they're the new Cantina Band, like if there ever is another Star Wars movie or show or whatever, maybe Mando walks into the bar and the Star Waivers are playing. They don't have a line, but that would be dope.
Yeah, something like that, where they're just like...
Someone's just playing them. Someone's playing them in the ship.
Yeah.
Like, Grogu throws it on with Mando.
I would love that.
Something like they don't necessarily have to have their own thing. It would be cool.
Yeah.
And I like that style of cartoon personally.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, it kind of had a Dragon Ball-y
things
vibe.
Were rounder.
Yeah, it was brightly colored.
Violent.
It was
looking.
fun.
Like,
it was a fun time.
I heard someone describe Boba Fett like he looked cute,
Yeah,
he was like an adorable Boba Fett with like a big head.
Yeah.
He still was a badass though.
Oh yeah,
that was a great
his voice
shot
is like
right
still
there.
scary.
With the gun, like
and I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a great job voicing Jay. That would be a cool person to add on to, like, being a part of it, whatever.
Yeah.
I overall, S tier. I don't necessarily have to see them come back as a cartoon, but it would be cool to throw them in the mix somewhere else. All right, Beeks, what you thinking?
I'll go B tier.
You don't have to say tier.
Well, isn't that what it is? It's a tier.
Yeah.
I go B. Like, I really enjoyed it, and the songs was like crazy, and it set up like, okay, the first one was like that, the second one's like this. The rest of these can be like anything. Like, I don't know where this is going at this point. I would totally like to see more. I'd mostly like to see like almost like a prequel to it about Jay and like
or each of
his whole like even the Hutt, like whatever, like how the band formed almost. Like, because they're kind of like already together, they have their crew. I'd love the like story of like how they got together and just like how he escaped Order 66 and like all that stuff. Yeah.
Really quick, BK, you know a lot about the aliens. Like, is the drummer a thing? I've never seen those tripod dudes before. I don't think tripods are. Like, is that a thing in Star Wars? Like,
well, there's definitely the devil-looking dudes though. There's a devil dude and something else
for sure
at the bar scene.
And Mandalorian too.
Yeah. And obviously, it's a female character.
I think they're called like Deveronians or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones with the horns, like from Mando and from A New Hope.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely that species, right? Like, or at least a similar species.
Yeah.
The drummer, or he is the drummer. The bass,
but like
female,
it has 3 heads, and so like
3 bodies. It wasn't just
so I don't know what's going on there. That's not like the other
not
versions of those that we've seen. So I don't know if
but
it's the same or
there's humans that are
I mean, I guess it could just be like a Siamese triplet version of like that alien, I guess. Yeah.
Big universe, yeah.
So Nick, what tier are you gonna put it in?
I think I'd go B2. I really liked it. I just think when I think about the ones that I like loved, like I almost do feel like I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit below that. So I'd say B tier. I agree with everything you guys said. Like I definitely want more of them, even if it's just little references.
Yeah.
As soon as I don't even remember what the scene was, but as soon as like that electric guitar kicked on, like there's this show that Jared and I have watched called FLCL. That one of the I think two of the studios that did the other ones even worked on. It has like that's a very similar guitar track in those, and I was like, oh, this has got such FLCL vibes, and I was like, I love that about it, that they're almost kind of like this is like the FLCL episode. I mean, not really, FLCL is wild, but I loved it. Like I felt like it had a lot of like anime references that I was just like, oh, even just like watching anime, like I can, it was a marriage between Star Wars and that. So yeah, want more, give it a B. Would probably even buy an action figure with the instruments.
I'm buying an album and like a tour T-shirt.
Exactly.
Tour T-shirt.
Yeah.
Or put them on some kind of Star Wars music thing.
I feel like too, we mentioned before about like the music and just how like Star Wars is so much about music, and like John Williams is pretty much Star Wars music, right? But then also like Kevin Kiner is the guy who did all the Clone Wars stuff, and he's made like all kinds of Star Wars music, right?
Yeah.
And then
what's the guy inside the movie?
No, I know, but then like Ludwig Göransson too, right, from Mando. Then there's like they slowly like get like, because John Williams he's super old. Like, he's done doing it now, basically. Like Rise of Skywalker was his last one, so like they have to move the music beyond like just John Williams stuff. And I just feel like even just like having a rock and roll band in the middle of it is just like, oh, like, dude, Star Wars music can be any kind of music.
Exactly.
We had the scene in Jedi too. To be honest, in the later movies, we don't have as much music in 1, 2, 3 or 7, 6 or 7, 8, 9. They don't really. I can't think of a scene in them. I'm sure there is one, but in the original movies, they're in A New Hope and in Return, especially the re-edited version of Return. There's a whole fucking
there's the whole thing,
dude. You know what? I fucking love it.
Maybe there's a song in The Force Awakens when they go to Maz.
I was just thinking there for sure is, because I remember being in the theater and like listening to it and being like, this is cool, but it's not. Like I remember thinking like, this is cool, but I'm not gonna be like humming this.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's music there, maybe background music and actually probably not. I was thinking
there's that bar scene in the second movie too.
Maybe there's something there. But there's nothing that's anything as memorable as the song.
Yeah. Jerry, rating episode 2.
Hated it. I know it's not the same, but I don't really like the like chibi style or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking baby, like get over yourself. Can't stand that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the guitar music. That was so fucking weird. That's not my thing.
Do you mean not your thing just in music in general, or not for Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No, that's fair.
The first one, and then it was like the second one was like, what the hell's going on?
All right, moving along. We'll see if we even go back to Jared after that comment.
Wait, so really quick though, Jared. So we've got 2 B's and S, and are you gonna say an F or like a D? Like how much did you hate it?
Yeah.
We'll say a C-.
C-.
Wow. Jared, fucking.
It wasn't like
you don't like that fun.
The worst thing, but it was just. I think it was like you guys said. It was very different. Wasn't expecting it.
It's because you were all pumped off the first one.
Yeah, probably that.
Yeah.
Probably rough for that one to follow up the one that was like, oh wow, we just watched that again.
I was pumped. I honestly, I like to have a good time, so I was having fun. All right, let's get right into 3, which also
the most references. I feel like obvious references.
To
for sure.
And I love that shit. I love feed me more of that shit.
I think that's what this episode really quick. Last thing to say, I'll say about it. I think that's what this episode did really well is that. I feel like every time we do these things, that what I'm always saying, what I want from any franchise we're watching, is just I want new stuff, different stuff. This one gave us a whole bunch of new takes about things like, there wasn't violence, there's music, the Jabba can be bargained with, or convinced. So they gave us all this new stuff on top of This one also had the most references. They married the new and the old. And I do think that this episode almost did that the best, you know?
Well, that's why that's true, because it's the only one that, for me, that I felt like it was easy to tell that it was part of, like, my Star Wars.
Yeah.
The rest of these are new Star Wars.
Yeah. Or even side Star Wars.
Yeah,
like
side Star Wars.
reality.
Oh, yeah. And that other one, like, even if it's not canon, it gave me those feels, and it was also upbeat. I like stuff that's upbeat.
Totally.
You know, the first one was cool, but it was, you know, a lot of killing, you know. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm soft in my old age. All right, so episode 3, The Twins. I love the animation on this one. Another great
studio trigger, bro. Like I love this animation studio. Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah,
just the way it was drawn.
Yeah, it was insane.
We off tops see a crazy ass Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer, correct?
Yeah. They called it something like some sort of class of Star Destroyer. But it was something we hadn't seen before. Yeah,
and it kind of gave you the vibes of. I feel like we've seen something like this in Clone Wars.
Is this the one that opens with the stars cut out and then it reveals the starship?
Something like that, yeah.
Because that was, if it was this episode, I remember watching that and being like, whoa, why are there all these stars missing? Like every Star Wars thing opens with all the stars in the sky, you know?
Dude, I don't even think I caught that. Like,
it was like empty space, and then it like side scrolled and revealed the ship, and it was like, whoa, what the?
Yeah, it was a cool animation way of going about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool to see two of them connected like that, but it also to me seems like really that's how you connect to. It kind of seemed a little like, I don't know, a little corn doggy. But at the same time, it's badass. It's cartoon.
Yeah.
You know, but it stood out. You're not going to now forget that. Like that. Two Star Destroyers connected in the center, and then it's. I thought, that's the title, The Twins.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Like immediately in my mind, I'm like, okay, there we go.
And it's full on. And I know it's not my turn yet. We're still
no.
But like, I love that it's invoking all of that. You know how like George Lucas is like, oh, it rhymes, whatever bullshit he says. But like, you know, we've got twins like Leia and Luke. Only now we've got a good and the bad one. We've got those side by side Star Destroyers. Mm-hmm. Like, I love there was just all this like symmetry in this episode.
Twins, like they went to
like it invoked Star Wars without like if they would have just changed everything and took out all the Star Wars lingo, I still would be like, this one's kind of like Star Wars, guys. You know what I mean? Just visually and thematically and
Yeah, I mean off tops. It had all the vibes.
Yeah, very Rey and Kylo, Leia,
a lot more than the first episode.
Like,
you know, this felt like your classic Star Wars story.
Yeah,
but told in a different way
with a lot more wild.
Yeah, I was saying it also like broke all the rules. Almost like too of like like I don't know, they're like flying through space.
I was just gonna say Leia where they're out there's like cold space.
I had that in my notes, and that's a big thing for me.
And they harness the kyber crystal too.
How the fuck are they breathing?
I mean, you just gotta let it go.
But then the droid. But hold on a second, let it go. But then the droid has a helmet on. He's got. You didn't notice that?
You guys pick up on the dopest details. I didn't even pick that. The droid wearing a helmet. Oh my gosh,
Jerry, get me up in there. When the droid saves Master M, we're skipping way ahead. We're doing like what we're Shang-Chi right now.
We'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back. I have notes right there. Jerry, you just had the scene. No, it's.
It's about to happen.
Yeah, it's about to happen.
I do know that
just point that out though.
Yeah, but like so I read
right there.
Recently I read the first High Republic book, and that's there's a bunch of Jedi running around or whatever.
Right.
At some point someone says some line about how the Jedi were taught how to survive for brief moments of time.
Yeah, Leia does it.
Leia does it.
Leia does it.
And actually, even Kanan does it in the cartoon at some point.
Yeah. I can remember that.
But they're out there for
window breaks and
crazy amount of
time.
time.
So they have a full-fledged fight.
Yeah, in the middle of space.
In the middle of space. And it didn't really bother me too much because of Leia, this, that, the other, And there's also that shot in the last movie where Finn's running on the ship with that whole crew.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Wow, that's right.
Sure.
Yeah. They're like not high enough out of the atmosphere
that robot.
But yeah,
you can see the screen. I wish you guys could see the screen. The robot wears a helmet. That bothered me.
Yeah.
Only because of what they were doing. It was like, okay, well, that's a little weird. I
almost feel they did that just to... It almost feels like just to be silly, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. This one almost seems like they were
just real cartoony.
Yeah, it was super cartoony, and they were just like, I don't know. They just didn't even care about logic, basically. Which made it very fun.
To go back, the twins are Darksiders, or that's how you're led to believe.
Well,
it's kind of a classic storyline.
They were supposedly bred.
They're like little baby Snokes.
They have that little flashback moment the tubes and the dark hoods and like
which kind of reminds you of that place that we
like,
saw in the last
Mexico.
Yeah. So it had that vibe, which was real cool. Great little throwback.
Great helmets, great Sith helmets.
Yeah, she kind of looked like she looked like an original drawing of, I forget the artist who originally drew some of the imagery of Darth Vader. Yeah. And there's some drawing of Darth Vader, which I should have saved it, where he kind of looks like that. It's pretty interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
She's almost got like a xenomorph type head too.
Totally.
Like I like that. Yeah. Like it makes her look alien.
Nice. We always gotta do that once an episode.
Hell yeah.
They do give us
kind of like actually like isn't Zori, right? Bliss, right? From Rise of Skywalker, isn't her helmet kind of
a little bit.
Oh,
a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
We get a classic one-liner, though. A galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. To
a galaxy far, far away.
Too, I'm trying to get away to a galaxy far, far away.
This is the first episode where we see an X-Wing out of the series, I think.
Which was also like another just
how do you get that
breaking crazy rules of like why do they have an X-Wing on the ship?
It
doesn't matter.
Was it Rebel colors? Was it white and orange, or did it have like an Empire color scheme? Can we see that X-Wing just right quick?
I don't think it was. It definitely wasn't like done up Empire style.
Because I was gonna say like maybe they just jacked.
It's just
kind of plain.
Yeah, it's pretty plain looking.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that was like the first sighting of an X-Wing. My next thing was about the whole breathing, but we already went over that.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this one.
Yeah, it's not
the suit that she uses that's powered by the kyber crystal.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time, BK can correct me here, maybe in the literature or in a comic they've done it, first time we've seen a suit powered by a kyber crystal.
Yeah, not that I've seen it. They do like weapons, like the Death Star is powered by kyber crystals and whatever, but I've never seen a suit.
Yeah. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It had
kind of Iron Man vibes a little bit.
Yeah, but also what's his name?
Whiplash.
No, from
Omega Red.
No, from the original part, from the second movie, the robot. Grievous.
With the arms. Yeah. And then I just went to the tentacles. Yeah. I was like,
Whiplash. Yeah.
I'm ahead of you, bro.
I mean, all of those. Omega Red is the red too. Yeah. Totally, Nick. That's great. That's fucking great. No, but I was thinking of Jared just said it. Grievous. Jennifer Grievous. Yeah. Because the whole spinning thing. You know, and that's kind of the first time you see that in Star Wars. Other than Omega Red.
Yeah. Have we seen laser whips before? Are laser whips a thing in Star Wars?
Not that I can think of.
No, I don't think so. At least not to my knowledge.
Yeah. Well, not like kyber crystal powered.
Yeah,
like
and it's wrapping around his lightsaber.
It is full on like a ribbon.
Doing things I've never seen any lightsaber.
And his lightsaber also seemed very unique.
When he gets all He-Man with it, and it's like.
He's
tall. Yeah. I mean, he cuts the
ship in half.
Yeah.
And that's when you get the vibes from. Is that the second movie or the new ones?
From Last Jedi when they do the hold-on maneuver.
The hold-on maneuver, right here. You get the hold-on maneuver, which was awesome.
You get the imagery of it.
But see how the end of his lightsaber has that like screen for lightsaber protector.
Best lightsaber handles.
Yeah.
So far.
The
in this series. Yeah.
Well, lightsabers and kyber crystals play a huge role in this in Visions as a whole.
I could. This is stupid. This is off the cuff. But instead of calling it Visions, they should have just been called like crystals or something. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that is the recurring theme of almost all of them.
We get there is no try. There's only do.
Yeah.
We get a little Yoda reference up in there.
It's like worded differently, but it was the same thing.
And that's actually right before I think they cut the ship is when they make that line, if I'm not mistaken. And then the episode kind of ends.
There's also very heavy vibes of like classic Star Wars, like I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to save you.
Yeah. I'll come back for you kind of a vibe too.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was a great episode. I don't know what tier. I'd probably say I'd give it a B tier for myself. I really liked it. The one thing I think that holds it back is it ends in a way where you kind of need a follow-up to this one.
Oh, for sure.
Because it just kind of ends. Yeah. When it started, you were like, okay, they jumped in to give you a little flashback to them and how they became whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, you're kind of left with like, all right, I need more of that.
100%.
So I give it a B.
Such a great shot.
A B minus scale. I'd like to see more of it, but I also take away from it as a Visions. If this is all we're getting out of these episodes of Visions, I kind of lower it in my totem pole because it ended in such a way of like, Wait a minute. MPH is the voice?
What? And Alison Brie? Dude, this is what I love. Is that I love that I do no research and then we get like all
Jarvis
know
Jerry. Wow. The young man is MPH, which I need to have to rewatch that.
Yeah,
I love MPH. My rating might
just
have
went
just
from a
jumped
B
up.
up to an A.
Yeah, that might have just jumped to an A. I don't know. Now I gotta rewatch that episode. I can't believe
Takes
it's
place
MPH.
after Rise of the Skywalker. Okay.
That's
So
what
I guess they're using.
I was gonna guess it was like
technology.
between
Which makes sense
Jedi
though.
and stuff. But
To me, it felt older. Yeah.
I thought so too. I
I thought it was like failed or like they tried to clone stuff and they didn't get Palpatine quite right, and then they wind up with these twins somehow, and they're off in a random part of space, and then this happened or something.
That's crazy. Yeah, that actually does kind of reframe it for me. It's like, oh wow, this is after.
I guess maybe the people who left Exegol, were like, it didn't work with just Palpatine. We need two of them.
Yeah, exactly.
We need twins.
Actually, yeah.
If the twins took us down, we could lay them.
I was gonna say,
we need the twins.
Maybe that's what
there was like a meeting, and then someone started yelling about twins.
It's just Rey, so we gotta make two of them now.
Yeah.
All right, so Beats.
I think I'm gonna go A territory for this, mostly because it's so insane.
He looks like Han right there too. So I didn't mean to.
He looks like Han.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so insane. Like after the second one, I was like, oh, they can do anything with it. And then after this one, I was like, okay, none of this is canon necessarily, so they literally can do anything.
Breaking
doing
rules
like
left and right.
Stuff I didn't think was like possible within the realm of anything, but it didn't even bother me. It was just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more because following it would be excellent. And I'd even like to know more about how they came to be too. Like they give a little briefest, but it's like, give me a whole little whatever about the Sith cultists that like created them or whatever. Right?
Yeah, it'd be a great comic.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Nick D?
I think I gotta go S tier on this.
Wow.
And I feel like anyone, Sadu, if you're watching, if you like this one, and you guys too, I would definitely check out Kill a Kill by these guys, and then Promare.
And like the same studio.
Yeah, same studio.
What's the Studio Trigger you said?
Yeah, Studio Trigger.
Yeah,
they also did
episode
episode
that name, but I haven't seen
7. I think they're doing that Cyberpunk Netflix cartoon, which is going to be all about the trauma team. Yeah. And it's like, I just love these dudes' style. Like, I feel like there are parts where, too, I 100% agree, it's only 15 minutes, and there's so little backstory that it leaves you wanting more. Yeah. But the one thing that I think that kind of counterbalanced that is that this one is just oozing style. Like, if you like the way this one looks, it kind of makes up for all of that. So yeah, I'd go S tier. I definitely want more. I love Studio Trigger.
A little bit of the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. It's for sure. They lean in, especially when you see their profiles and their chin and their eye looks all weird. Like at times it almost looks bad, but then you're like, I love that they're just committing to this style. Yeah. And then when it's in motion, like just the way they swing lightsabers, it's like, oh dude, that's so sick. So yeah, I'd say S tier.
I agree with both of you, but I gotta say though, man. That ended in such a way where it was like
it's very abrupt.
Get the fuck out of here.
Really quick, can you what does it end on? Just them, the X-wing driving away.
The final second.
Yeah. What is the last shot of this?
It's he's still on the planet.
Yeah.
He does a little spiel. Yeah. All right, Jerry. What's your?
I did like that ending shot actually.
Yeah, cool. Double. He's on Tatooine.
Yeah. Just the X-wing like buried in the ground like that. And everything. I know.
Yeah, very, very Luke-like.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry. What are you giving it tier-wise? We got to move it along here.
I'd say A. It was great. NPH. Are good. It was good. I liked it.
Jerry, when
very good, satisfactory. But you want more.
When I think his name's Kari. When he actually like slices her suit, that's totally Kill a Kill. Like at the end of each fight, and they kind of freeze in air, and all their clothes burst off. Like I was like, oh dude, they're doing the Kill a Kill thing. I love it.
They did something.
Yeah, definitely. She even looks like 3D girls.
Oh yeah, totally. Actually, one thing too. I don't even know what episode. I think one of the episodes, Satsuki plays someone. We should check that too. I don't even know what episode it is. Can you just go to Kill a Kill IMDb?
I'm the only one taken away from these shows.
Because I'm almost positive Satsuki popped up in one of these things. I'm probably wrong though.
Except for Jerry's too hard on the one.
And then while Jerry's looking this up, we can move on to the third one. This is just like a personal, I just want to see if this one actress shows up in Visions. You might even have to type in English cast. I don't know if they.
Yeah. I would definitely just say move on.
Yeah, let's just
All right, moving on. All right. 4th episode, The Village Bride. I don't have too much notes on this, which, I'm not going to... We'll get into my vibes on it, but opens with a weird lightsaber object. I don't remember why I wrote that down, but I wrote that down.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Kurt.
My favorite moment happens pretty quickly in this episode, where there is a woman being carried on a gentleman's back, which they end up kind of being the leads of the show in a weird way. And it's like a weird backpack vibe going on.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to this I really like the dude. Oh, now I remember what it is in the very beginning. So there's this gentleman with a helmet, and he's got almost like a vibe.
It's like a monk thing, yeah.
Well, no, it almost looks like some goddamn Ghostbusters, like.
Yeah, he's taking some readings of something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's EKG, but it's something like that. Yeah.
And he's got this like Ghostbuster thing going on. It's not necessarily a lightsaber, but when it first opened up, you're like, is that a lightsaber? But it's like some weird Ghostbuster shit tech going on. Yeah. And then we see this woman being carried on this gentleman's back, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I got strong Queen Amidala vibes from her look, her being carried. Yeah. I was just like, oh, this is like the Amidala episode. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, very
like that right there, like her weirdo hair.
Very unique hairstyle.
The guy says something too about where we're going,
you can't soil your
dirty or something.
Yeah.
And then there was a weird line that I caught and I wrote it down. They make some kind of comment about the sun has been rising all of their lives and will be setting the rest of their life or something like that, which I didn't really understand. So there was no. Yeah, was it a poem or was that planet in some kind of weird scenario where they live in 50 years of sunlight and 50 years of dark or something like that? The planet moves slow.
I think they were talking about the Empire.
Oh,
because I think we talked about the last one.
Yeah.
The last one, what we've looked at, says it takes place after Rise of Skywalker, but I think this one takes place shortly after Order 66.
Revenge of the Sith. Right there.
Yeah. Because those, the two Jedi are kind of on the run. He says something about how, the Empire can't sense us here, or some shit like that, or whatever.
I don't know if that one guy's a Jedi necessarily.
Or
she is.
Something, yeah.
I
don't know.
I think that dude, can you just Google really quick, Japanese monk basket helmet? Because I feel like it's supposed to invoke that. And if so, maybe it is. That dude is just like a religious figure of that,
I get that, BK, though.
See these things?
Yeah.
Komuso.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I think this guy's like a religious...
Yeah.
Because he mentions, I realized it because he mentions the Separatists, and he says something about the Separatists. I forget what they did. They left something behind or something.
The battle
droids, and then they
which is in my
they
notes.
picked them up and took it out. So it had to be because he knew who the Separatists were. It had to be shortly after Revenge of the Sith.
For sure. And the fact that battle droids are still around, because by the time we get to New Hope, we never see battle droids again after that.
Yeah.
Even in the new movies, they don't ever flash back to a battle droid, which I think is kind of a shame.
Which is
although
crazy,
actually, I think
there's so many of them.
Isn't there? I want to say there's one, what's the little guy, Babu Frick, in the last movie?
Yeah.
He's got a crazy droid shop, and I think there's one, hanging on a wall
or
something like that.
Yeah. But that's my next note, actually, was about after the sun comment, which I think BK is dead on the money. I didn't catch that, Beaks. I took it literally, the sun had it, been right. And I was like, what is this? The planet moves on a slow, But BK, you make a lot more sense. I took it too literal. Battle droids, I love battle droids, and I love the voice of the battle droids.
Yeah, me too.
And the fact that they have that classic voice in this episode, awesome. Love that part.
Little Easter egg.
Honestly, dude, that was the highlight of this episode. I wasn't a big fan of this episode. That was the fucking highlight for me. We get the whole little storyline. She's sacrificing herself so her grandpa will stay alive. Jibber jabber, don't really care. When she's about to die, what I did think was interesting, and I wrote down, these are literally my notes on the whole thing. The Jedi, whose name we never get, the female Jedi, she stops the gunshot very similar to how Kylo Ren did in The Force Awakens.
Against Poe,
And I love that. That was a little, paying homage to that.
She throws it back at them, though, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Right.
Breaks that dude's gun,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thought that was cool. We see a yellow lightsaber, which I think the first time we saw a yellow lightsaber was Rey.
Plo Koon in the video game, but again,
maybe in the main movies
the original. It's on the original PlayStation. I just remember going over to my John's house and
and there might be maybe in the Clone Wars cartoon. I'm trying to think specifically, but there probably is one.
Because
there was Yeah, there's like people at the temple.
Rey has yellow, right?
Well, at the end.
Dude, can you look at yellow lightsabers? Because now I'm just like, I'm sure someone in the chat, if they were there, is like, Luke doesn't have the yellow lightsaber douchebag, and I'm just like, let's just get ahead of it. Let's just
yeah, please. And leave the comments.
I remember looking up around Rise of Skywalker. There's something about like I don't know, the yellow was like representative of like protection or or something, because they were like the guards at the temple or something.
That's ringing a bell, dude. I think you're right. Yeah.
Was there a list of when it's been shown though, or no? Okay. Well, we'll move on. Jared, let us know if you find that. Yellow lightsaber, thought it was cool. I just thought Rey immediately. I didn't think about that. But for me, all the lightsabers in this show, it kind of had a vibe of the darksaber, shape-wise and everything.
Samurai.
Which is an ongoing theory in the Visions thing. Yeah. That's why I don't think it is a reference necessarily to the darksaber.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of a stylistic thing of how these studios were doing it. 100%. But the color did stand out to me. Yeah. Homie using his helmet. This is my last fucking note. Honestly, I wasn't impressed by this episode. Homie using his helmet though as like a kamikaze bomb or something. And he throws it out there, and it goes inside.
I don't know what he was doing when he was throwing it, and then
I had no idea. And then I was like, what bothered me again? And I know it's cartoon, and they should let it go. He then got the fucking helmet on at the end of the episode. It's like, so does he have multiple of those helmets saved up?
I think if
because that
helmet's indestructible.
Yellow is used by temple guards.
Yeah, there you go.
Temple guards, right on. No Plo Koon. I'm glad no one called me on that.
Okay. Yeah. But he could have been a temple guard.
Oh yeah, really quick, can we just Google Plo Koon? Let's just see if there's any footage of him with a yellow.
No, he wasn't a temple guard.
But do you catch what I'm saying though, Beaks, on that helmet thing?
Like, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, like, if there's not more than one,
back on.
Right. Classic cartoon.
Yeah. Well, no, I did, but I hear what you're saying now.
Totally. Yeah. Classic cartoon nonsense, but that kind of stood out and bothered me a little bit. Episode ends. She flies away. They do the classic anime thing where she's flying and she's moving and the ground isn't or whatever, and then they do a voiceover. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Thought it was cool. Had a good, crazy old school vibe to it. And that kind of wraps it up for me on this one. I give this one an overall rating. I give it like a C minus. I'm not gonna put any of them in a D category or F. So C minus. This might be my least favorite episode, possibly.
How about just Google images, Jared?
And I also once again thought that this one ended where it didn't really end. It's like she's flying off. I mean, it was a cool little one-off story, so I don't need to see what she does.
Yeah.
The follow-up to her.
I mean, she's on the run from
so I'm just
the Empire.
For the record, I'm just wrong. Blue lightsaber.
Blue lightsaber. Wow. Yeah. All right, Beaks. What's your overall rating for this one?
I'm gonna go with a B on this one.
Wow.
Because once again, it's got Jedi and lightsabers and.
Well, they all have fucking Jedi and lightsabers.
Exactly. So nothing's gonna get rated too low.
I pretty much only have S and A's,
like I don't know if to tell you.
Wow. You guys are being soft. Jerry fucking attacked my episode now.
Yeah, and I did really like looking for her yellow lightsaber that looked like a katana. And
that was cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like also once again like a classic like sort of samurai tale sort of thing going on where it's like. Seven Samurai vibe, but with just the one Jedi, where it's like this little town, and she's got to help them, and she helps them, and then she moves on. And it's like,
and is there only even one? Like she just does that kind of classic samurai lunge, and then like there's only even like one act of violence. Well, I guess that guy shoots the girl.
Yeah, but there's a little fight that goes down right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, all right. BJ, you done?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a little high rating. I'm sure Nick over here is going to get a high rating.
Yeah, like I think I'm torn between an A and a B. Like I almost want to give it an A because like one I don't know her name. I didn't pick up her name.
I don't even say it.
I like her. One thing I like is I love, and again, this is just me projecting. This has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. But I love the idea of she pops off the mask and she's got the scar. So automatically, I was like, oh, did she survive 66? Is that a battle wound? Is that a vanity thing like Dr. Doom where she's like, I wear the mask because I don't want that?
Thank you, Jerry.
F.
F's the name of that character. Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked it. But the thing that I liked the most, and this is gonna sound soft, is I like the Amidala vibes. I like just the idea of like, oh, here's like some like almost kind of royalty. We're seeing, again, it's like I'm always saying, I like the idea of like, show me something different in these things. And it's like, this is expanding on royalty.
Its own new little village with its own little vibe and rituals and everything.
I think I was originally, when we started, going to say a B, and you guys talked me into an A. I'm going to say an A.
I gave it a bad rating and said it was a boring.
but everything you said, I was like, yeah, I'm vibing with it.
There was definitely cool shit. I just feel like, I'm being more harsh because Jerry set the tone in my opinion. I gotta go heavier on these. All right.
And Jerry?
Oh yeah, Jerry. What's the rating?
C. Like, yeah, it was fine. Whatever. I don't need more.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Wow,
really quick though, just to go back. Do I want more of this? I don't. If there was more, sure. I don't think I need more.
Yeah.
Like, if there's more,
I would see another story about that Jedi on the run, but also like that's a Jedi on the run and.
Yeah.
Well, I
probably gets got at some point. Let's be honest.
Exactly. There's a reason why we don't know who she is.
But we skipped over a big thing here. Fuck the Jedi and weirdo dude whose helmet reappears. The planet speaks to people, and the planet has its own force thing going on. Yeah. I didn't highlight that in my notes, but I'm almost more interested in the planet itself and the culture going on that planet.
Straight up, bro.
Than the Jedi and the weirdo helmet guy whose helmet reappears.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I honestly want to give this a D because that's was bizarre that the helmet reappeared. And Jerry just played it on the screen, so then it reminded me, it did reappear. I'm not tripping. Whatever. Moving along. Fuck that episode. Sorry, guys.
No.
If you loved it, you loved it. Sadu, get out of here.
The real world commentary on natural resources and more. I was like, at that point, I got super tired of them saying, I have a bad feeling about this.
Did they say that?
And I love how we're only in episode 4. There's
he says to may the force be with you as well. There is a may the force be with you in this one as well.
I didn't know anything.
In episode 4, there was a force be with you. I didn't catch the I have a bad feeling about that in that one. I'm sure it was in there. But may the force be with you was said in that one. Alright, so moving on to, might be my personal favorite, we'll see. Episode 5, The Ninth Jedi. I felt like this was the most beginning to end, great storyline, I don't necessarily, we'll get to that actually, but opens up with some awesome music, some classic Star Wars soundtrack with a great voiceover.
So this is the voiceover.
Really cool. Instead of reading the text, you heard it or what have you.
Yeah.
Thought it was cool. I love the visual that we immediately see of the upside down base or temple. You don't really know at first. I thought that visual, and then the camera turns and it's right side up. Thought that was real badass. Totally. Loved it. Thought it was, we haven't really seen anything like that. It's floating the opposite way. It's just really cool.
It's kind of like they do that with Asgard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Little Asgard vibes.
And then also at the end of Twins, where the one of the last shots is that rock thing, and then it flips, and it's like, oh, it's a lightsaber.
I thought you were gonna say Danny DeVito. And,
it's
a fucking weird reference. Yeah, the episode Twins. Okay, yeah, not Danny DeVito.
Oh wait, never mind. That's this episode. Never mind. That's at the end of this episode. Not yeah.
All right, so then we go inside the temple. We meet a bunch of Jedis, and off tops we meet this really cool, or what we think are Jedis. We'll get to it. We meet this cool-ass Jedi, though, and I wrote this down with a badass, I don't know if it was his lips or if it's a mustache. I thought it was a very interesting-looking fellow. I don't think I've seen that species before in Star Wars something, but he's got, these weird upper lips, or it's a mustache. Had to write it down. Looks like handlebars or something. Yeah, there he is right there. I don't know what his name was. Yeah. He was cool-looking, though. Was into him. And then, this is where I go back to you, Beaks. And I guess, though, Jerry's going to pull it up. I didn't realize that this information was out there. When does this take place? Jerry's on the left of our screen. Is that
got to be current? After Return of the Jedi.
That's it right there?
Or after Rise of Skywalker too?
That's this episode, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So it takes place after Rise of the Skywalker. What's interesting is I didn't realize, Beaks, that this information was out there, or at least whoever has written this.
Yeah, I didn't.
Every episode I have written down.
Is this the one where they say something about it's illegal to be making lightsabers?
Yeah, I don't know if they said it's legal, but those two bounty hunters or whoever show up, and they're like, "You've been making lightsabers against Empire rules." Or,
because that's what made me think that there's no way it could take place after Rise of Skywalker. I don't know about that.
I thought it took place after what's the last one of those? Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, maybe right where like someone's trying to bring the Jedi
and
they know about
there's a beacon that's alerting them to come.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong, but whatever.
You get strong. Also, you get the Obi-Wan vibes with the guy on the hologram. He pops in. And he's like, it's not like help me. Or whatever, but he's like, I want to help you actually.
Yeah. You to, they say that a war had just ended, if I'm not mistaken, too. They also call themselves, if I'm not mistaken, at one point someone says they're masterless Jedis.
Yeah.
They mention a bad guy.
It was just kind of like they know they have the Force, but the Jedi aren't around to train them, so they've just been like self-training.
Yeah. Like or they lost their masters. Or
that.
Which in samurai culture, like that would be like a Ronin, right? And so it is just like that idea of like a masterless kind of wandering warrior that's essentially a hired gun at that point. So it's like, you're right, it is just kind of weird. It's like, what are these dudes without Jedi leaders? They're just...
We find out in a moment.
Yeah, people that might have Force sensitivity,
They mention a bad guy who... Jerry, can you pull up the cast list because I want to see what they call him. I swore when I first heard it that his name was Chiro.
Chiro.
See, I was hearing Chiro. I think they need to go back.
Shang-Chi, dude, is a voice in this.
Is he?
Yeah, Simu Liu.
Which one's
Next
he?
guy
I wonder which one's Zima Liu.
Oh, nice. Zima. Jared, who's Zima?
Which one's Zima?
But yeah, I swore that they called the dude Chiro. They keep talking about a guy named Chiro, and I thought they were just hungry and they wanted Chiros.
No, I want Chiros.
Yeah, I like a Chiro right now as well. That's a great treat. And also at Disneyland, they had lightsaber Chiros. They were Chiros with blue sugar on the outside. Yeah. Oh, so I thought this is all reference to trying to sell more Chiros at Disneyland, but
that's coming. That's
Oh, they have them. Dude, they're great.
Oh, you literally just said that. My bad.
Yeah, no,
I was watching Jerry.
Oh, dude, it's a Chiro dipped it in blue or red.
Yeah.
Sith Lord BK can have that one.
Sick.
And then we see a giant robot or a giant droid. What are those robots that a C-3PO call? It's almost
protocol droid.
It's almost like a protocol droid, right? And I thought that was awesome. And I asked the question to both of you: why haven't we seen that before? And will we see more giant droids in Star Wars?
Yeah, like
that are bigger than people.
Yeah.
Like that.
I hope so. Like
it seems like such an easy thing to throw in, and they you've never seen it really till they hit there.
I mean, it's almost like there's some unwritten rule that like I swear there's some theory about because like in Dune, right? There's some whole thing about like how like robots have been like not banned or something, but they've been placed under strict control so they like don't take over the universe or something, right? Yeah, like a Matrix vibe. Yeah. And there's always been like sort of weird, like they don't ever get into it, but like every droid in Star Wars is deferential to humans and is like under control in some way usually, right? So they wouldn't want to build big giant ones. Kill them.
Isn't that also the droid wars and all that? And the battle droids that roll out and all that.
And then if you think about how dark it is, that in Solo, there's that whole thing about how like the droid slaves, it's. And when you really start to pick that apart, it gets messy. Because then you're like, well, what is R2 and C3PO to Luke? It's. I think they don't really want to go there a lot.
Stuff, right?
So then
definitely written in the sentence.
In this episode, they also did a classic crossover fade. That was like a classic Star Wars crossover fade.
Oh yeah,
the swoop, the wipe. Yeah. I thought that was awesome. Now I think that this was the first episode that kind of had that classic wipe. There's a cool little yellow droid, I don't know. I just wrote that down.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's his little droid.
Hers was the first droid where I was like, oh, that might be like one of my new favorite droids.
It's not like BB-8.
It's almost like a microphone.
It reminds me of, what's BB-8's buddy in the last one?
I'll never remember.
Fuck, can't remember his name. Yeah. But it had the vibes of that guy.
Dio or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We see a bunch of lightsabers being made, and then I caught this... I thought and I don't know, BK, you're going to have to tell me if this has been said in a bunch of it, the lightsaber length depends on the person holding it, as well as the color change.
That whole thing was like, I never heard anything like that before.
She holds it, it's like growing up and down.
The idea that someone could build a lightsaber using a kyber crystal that would then immediately sense based on whoever picked it up and would change color, Like,
it's not been like that before.
No, I've never heard anything like that. Usually, like, the Jedi or whoever gets the crystal,
it's
like,
the
thing with the
choice.
Yeah, and they like, it's about their vibe and like whatever with the crystal, like what color it changes to.
Yeah.
And then the length. I always thought it was more of like to do with an electronic setting on the saber than it was like. I don't know, but this makes it sound like it senses how big you are or something, and how like big your saber should be in comparison to you. I don't know. So that was like totally all crazy. Yeah.
And this is the first time when I wrote this down. There's a "May the Force be with you" kind of bullshit in there.
It's like a little bird. I like that.
They drop that line. They call him a sabersmith. I just thought that was awesome. I don't know if I've ever heard that before. I thought that the way that I remembered it was that you made your own lightsaber.
Well, yeah, and like in the cartoons, there was like a robot or a droid who I can't remember what his name is, but worked at the Jedi Temple, and he used to teach all the younglings how to make their lightsabers. And they'd all have to build them themselves, and that was part of the rite of passage of like being a Jedi. Was like building your own lightsaber.
Yeah. And I swear Luke made his own or something like that, but whatever.
Well, they do it like off screen supposedly between Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He makes the green one. Yeah.
Then we get a kick-ass speeder bike battle, which had the sound effects from like the original film's speeder bikes. Thought that was amazing. I love her turnaround and the whole shooting down.
Anytime a speeder bike shows up, I'm down. I love that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Then we pull up on these droids, and it looks like a majority of them are turned off, dead, whatever. But the one on the end is drinking what looks to be like a funny tea, or almost like a yerba mate. The real way you drink a yerba mate.
Yeah.
Thought that was hilarious. That he's sitting there and he doesn't even he's like, ask one of these fools, like you don't even want to work yet. The yerba mate droid, fucking loved it.
It looks like there's like a cigarette on the end of it.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Thought that was great. She pulls up. Her father's obviously been kidnapped, whatever, the sabersmith. Pulls up to the base. We find out very quickly that all of those what we thought were Jedis, but one of them are actually on the dark side and are with the Sith.
Yeah.
A giant lightsaber Jedi battle ensues.
Yeah.
And Homeboy, and this kind of disappointed me to be honest, and it's the only thing I really take away from the episode.
This is like the best shot right here.
Homie comes out of the droid. Out of the big droid. I thought the droid was just a giant droid.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it's a mech or something. Yeah. It kind of took a little bit away from me because I was so psyched off the fact that there was a big droid. So the fact that he was inside of it and he was like an Iron Man suit or a mech suit or something. I was like, I was hopeful that he was just a giant droid. So whatever. I'll look back past it.
The deception of that.
I like the deception.
I wasn't expecting it.
No, I wasn't expecting what? Caught me off guard.
Yeah.
A badass lightsaber battle ensues. It goes at it,
I also like the misdirect of when, in the beginning, they all, like right here, right? Like they were talking about. When they all gather, look at him. When they all gather together and they're watching the little hologram, I'm like, no one thinks that this dude looks like a Sith.
Well, that's like the whole misdirect of that.
And I loved that because the whole, and then you get this misdirect. I'm not gonna lie, this like blew my mind. I was like, I loved that. The whole like don't judge a book by its cover thing.
The whole misdirect of the whole thing, and then the battle that ensues afterwards, amazing, fantastic. And then whatever it ends, and they win, and they turn the big tall guy. I don't know what kind of species he is, but he
looks like a Pokemon.
He's told, he kind of looks like a Mewtwo-ish.
Yeah.
He's told like, yo, homie, you were on the good side this whole time. You've been misdirected by the Sith. Hop back on the good side, and he just does, which I thought was like, well, that was really easy for him.
But I do because that's one thing that I like about like Luke's whole thing of like how like Luke, there was that moment where he was like, I'm gonna kill Kylo because he's a bad guy. I love that idea that Jedis, they're not like saints, that they're just the guys that struggle against the dark side.
Well,
and we're like,
you're so close to going
every day. It's a choice.
And so it's like I love that idea of that they're not like angels. They're just people making choices. Like,
and like that guy was like. He says something about like, I was consumed by
just their
others,
energy,
like
their vibes.
energy or hatred or whatever. And it was like he literally like just got enveloped, swept up in their whole.
I love that. Yeah, and then right here, we even because I caught that it turned purple, but it did nothing registered for me. Like I didn't even. It's like, oh, okay, right on.
It was cool. It was cool. And then they win, and it kind of ends. And then one thing I took away, other than the fact that he hopped out of the robot, is this episode just kind of ends once again on a note of like. and on this one especially, I want to see more because this storyline was so strong.
Yeah.
It could just end like this, and that was that. But you want to find out whether or not she stays with her dad, in a way, for me at least. Yeah. It left it very all right, is the dad dead or not? And she believes or whatever that he's not. So it's left off that. The cool thing I thought was when they pan away, the way that the temple is sitting and everything, it kind of looks like a lightsaber.
This guy blows up in blue ice or I don't even know what the heck was going on there.
Is that a giant kyber crystal?
Yeah. So see that shot right there? It kind of looks like it is a lightsaber.
Totally.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool takeaway from the episode. Is they end it with that's so cool that the temple itself looks like a lightsaber. Totally. I did write in my notes actually. What was that thing he fell in? It was I thought maybe a giant kyber crystal or some kind of there's a Batman 66 episode where Batman pushes somebody into the acid or whatever in his base. I forget what the fuck. There's a famous thing about it.
Sick.
I can't recall, but it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Very weird when they push that guy into it. But yeah, I like the ending when it pulled away and it had a lightsaber.
Is that it right there? First picture?
No, this is something else.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No, it's in the base, and he kills actually a female in it. He pushes his female character.
Adam West didn't fuck around, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best Batman. Dobby, fucking Michael Keaton, number 2.
Oh, Jared, my bad, really quick. Has Sidhu been commenting on what his ratings for these things are?
No, because remember when you called him, he said he hasn't seen them.
Oh, that's right. My bad. That's my bad. Yeah.
That's right.
That's not right.
He's basing it off what we're saying. Amazing. Yes, that's the end for me for that one. I really like this one. I give it an A-. I thought that once again, if they would have ended on a more defined ending, like the dad was alive or something, that kind of ended that way, I might have given it an A+ or S tier. But for me, it was an A-. Great episode. Would love to see this one continue. Animation was amazing. From top to bottom, great episode. A little disappointed about the fucking robot not being a robot, or droid not being a robot, or droid. But we'll look past that one for here. Beaks, turn it over to you. What you thinking?
I'm probably going, I think, S territory on this one. It's just all the lightsaber smith and the whole, once again, they're kind of breaking, from what I understand, pre-established rules of what goes on with how the lightsabers get built. But everything they did was super cool. So it was I'm not upset about any of it.
It's its own world.
Yeah, and it's in its own world. And I don't know, just the lightsaber battle at the end. And even though you hated the guy coming out of the robot, that was one of my favorite moments, was when he popped out and he does some little flip. He floats down and does a little superhero pose or whatever. And I was this is amazing.
I just want more big droids. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
It's not I like the deception like Nick D was saying. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was a Sith himself.
Yeah.
So him popping out of the droid
multiple times, and
it
was in a couple minutes where it was just whoa, what?
Yeah. I was just so excited the fact that there was this giant droid, and then they kind of took that away from me that I was a little disappointed by it. Yeah. Because I feel like a giant droid would be so cool.
Yeah.
Like a giant. We kind of got that
in Rogue
One.
Giant droid
idea. I just want to see now. Now I really want to see a giant droid.
Me too.
Yeah. But moving on.
I'd love to see
more.
You
would S tier?
I go
S tier. You want to obviously see more.
Yeah.
Nick D.
I'm gonna say S tier. This might be my favorite one. I think this is the strongest episode. Jared, what's her name story-wise? I love her as a Jedi. I love the dude, the Jedi Master's mask. I love him as just like a Jedi. I thought the whole, because I was just like, oh, the dad's dead for sure, and I thought that was a bummer. But then I guess he was just captured.
That's what they mentioned. I think he was captured.
Yeah. So it's what's her name? Kara. Yeah, this was hands down my favorite. I for sure want, almost to the point where it's if you hear, if they were like, Nick, we're only going to do an expansion of one of these, what one? I'd be like, the Ninth Jedi. For me, it's almost
I almost agree with you, because it was the most, fulfilling storyline, I think, out of all of them. Yeah. It had a lot of Jedis, it had the Sith.
Yeah.
The one thing I caught, though, and I don't know enough, BK, that's why I turned to you, the whole lightsaber thing, I was like, that doesn't seem...
Yeah, that was totally new stuff.
But I was, the speeder bike battle, or fight scene...
Oh, when she's going backwards and everything?
Yeah,
man.
And she hops off and shit, dude, it was so good.
So good.
I felt that, in this, I don't know if this is controversial or not, who gives a shit, but, I almost like that interaction with her on the ice and the speeder bike more than I liked Rey in the desert with Kylo in the...
Well, she has a flippity dude?
Yeah, like, I was like, this is so much
We don't touch on that, Nick. We don't touch on that. The little robot, though, also sold me on it, too. All the visuals in this one, I mean, like I said, A- for me.
Yeah.
The ending kind of threw me on a little bit of a loop. Because, like I said, for me, I'm looking for something 15 minutes, give me from beginning to end.
Yeah.
You know? Which, episode 6, we're about to get into. Jerry's going to be pissed at me. Well, all right, Jerry, go ahead.
A+. I thought that was it was good. I like all the masks.
Yeah.
The lightsaber thing was like, what? And I don't know. He was just like, oh, temporary the crystals. I was like, no, I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
I liked hers when it was clear. I thought it was so much cooler.
For sure. I thought for sure they were going to imply... I thought the last reveal was going to be, oh, she's a bad guy. That's a dark saber. I thought for sure she was going to be like a...
Well, the dark saber's not necessarily bad.
Yeah. I think I just always go to
Has to be red.
Carl at the end of Mando. Spoiler for the end of Mando.
Yeah.
Like I think I now associate.
Yeah. You fucking spoil that all day.
Also, Jerry. Studio IG, is that what this is? Production IG. They worked on End of Evangelion, one of the dopest anime movies ever, and also a bunch of studios have worked on this because originally FLCL was done by Gainax. Gainax is kind of split into other things. So again, this studio also has worked on some of my favorite animes. Evangelion, top tier, like those things, and then FLCL. Last thing I gotta say.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on. We gotta make a move in here. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, and we're closing on in the end, right?
We got 3 more, but
we
won't really do no, we have 4 more actually. Because we're only on episode 6. We won't really do an ending cap because we're kind of doing each episode, and like to be honest, we'll get to it at the end. So we go to 2-B1. I personally thought this art was some of the coolest out of all of them.
Hell yeah.
An episode about droids. You know, and this is where we'll get into it real quick, BK. Let's be honest, all these episodes kind of lackluster because all they are a bunch of humans. This episode, we get a fucking droid as the lead character in the episode, which we need more of in Star Wars. Let's get off the humanoids.
I'm not going to blame Visions for...
No, I'm not blaming Visions. I'm not blaming Visions. It's been an ongoing issue.
But for decades now, I've been wondering why there's so few aliens focused on...
Or droids. Or droids.
As main characters.
This is our first lead droid.
Oh, that's how you do it. We were trying to figure that out earlier. Whatever you did, that's how you do it.
It's this button here.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
My bad.
No.
It is our first, lead droid kind of thing. Other than Droids, the cartoon with C-3PO and R2-D2 from like the 80s or whatever.
Yeah, the
go back to that.
movies.
And the Ewoks
even that's like
there's
kids and people in it. It's not really just about them.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're thinking, I meant the Ewoks cartoon movie.
Yeah, the cartoon too. Yeah,
well, there's a cartoon and cartoon movie. Yeah, and then there's the 2 movies, but that's about that little princess girl,
it's
her brother and shit. Yeah, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
We're size up it. But this was the first one, at least in Visions 2, that was non-humanoid based. Our lead is a droid whose kind of like father figure is an ex-Jedi, which we find out pretty quick.
Pinocchio vibe.
It's a total Pinocchio vibe, which I fucking loved.
Yeah.
Big Disney fucking touches in this
also,
one. Feels in this one.
His dad, or whatever you want to call him, is so goofy and short and chubby looking or whatever, and Santa Clausy or Smurfy or something. It's just like when he turns out that he was a Jedi, I was like, oh my god! I didn't even contemplate that this guy could be a Jedi. He just looked like there's no way he's a Jedi.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting too because he name drops that he has dreams about being a Jedi.
Yeah.
Off tops, he says that, right?
And he even sees himself as a boy.
Yeah. So it's weird because we've never really seen a droid have these feelings and visions.
Yeah.
This is the first time, we never see a C-3PO.
Electric sheep.
Yeah. I thought that was so cool. There's a crazy looking speeder bike that he rides to go look for a kyber crystal because his master
or speed biker mix.
He tells him to go look for a kyber crystal. He goes out there. Little does he know that the kyber crystal is actually inside of him.
Yeah.
They throw in, and I don't know, Jerry's really bummed off this. They threw in, I got a bad feeling about this in this episode.
Yeah.
It was like the whole second half. Anyway.
Yeah. And then the whole thing, like the dark side, because he touches the what looks like the when Luke. I think they made the action figure at the ship and all that, but when Luke shoots the, what does he say? He shoots on the...
Swamp rats.
Whatever, in that ship.
Yeah.
That looks like the ship he touches in this episode that his father figure has in the basement. It looks like a similar ship to that, if I'm not mistaken. Because I swear I had that action figure.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I say that is I swear I had that as growing up. I'm sure it's in my toy box up in the attic. No, yeah, see that ship right there?
Yeah.
Right there, Jerry.
Yeah.
That ship right there. Isn't that the same one he kind of touches in this episode? In 2B?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Luke in the background.
Yeah, there's the swamp rats.
That's what we're looking at.
Yeah. Swamp rats. Thought that was cool that they did a little homage to that a little bit. Obviously, then his father figure, because he touches it, the dark side feels that the ship's been activated. Boom, the dark side comes down. He gets put away in that little rock thing. He makes a famous line. It's from, he says, like, the force is with, whatever. It's the.
Oh, he says, I'm one with the force and the force is with me.
Which is from Rogue One. Rogue One reference.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a great little Rogue One reference. And then he dies, whatever. The kid comes out. And then it, like, turns into this thing. And I was a little confused. It seemed to me like, was what the Jedi was trying to do prior, was he trying to grow a plant that grew kyber crystals?
Kind of.
They
left
like
it
that.
vague, and that, like,
I thought he was trying to, like, resuscitate
life,
to grow life,
terraforming.
Right,
terraforming.
But then there was like a little like crystal thing, and it like shined in the episode. So I was like, whoa, because he told him to go out and look for. I was a little confused. I wrote that down in my notes. I don't feel either way.
I feel like they kind of left it open to interpretation. Like, it is vague enough to kind of be. Both of those answers feel right, so it could be either.
It's both things, maybe, or it's definitely the first thing. It's definitely him terraforming the planet or whatever, growing life. But I was like, is that him growing kyber crystals, or what was going on here? And then, bad guy lands on the planet. Kind of had the looks of that micro Clone Wars guy. I told BK that there's I can't even remember the character's name. Yeah. There's a badass dude in the micro Clone Wars, which is on Disney Plus. You should watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch that out.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks similar to this guy right here.
Yeah.
It has like almost a knight vibe. The Sith knight almost a vibe. Great battle ensues between 2BB1 and the Knight Sith Lord dude, where he realizes that the kyber crystal's actually inside of him. I loved when the other little robot jumps on the back, and they kind of like...
Yeah, they like Astro Boy or something. Like, it's fused together.
It's like...
Rocketeer.
Yeah. Thought that was amazing. Kick-ass battle scene.
Yeah, like right here.
Yeah, and
he loses the hand, loses the same hand as Luke.
He loses the arm, but it's also like great because he loses the arm. It's like, well, he's a droid, so it doesn't even phase him.
So there's no stakes.
Right? Yeah. And then he dips off, and that's kind of he wins, and then he dips off, and that's kind of the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I thought from beginning to end.
Yeah, there's the fusion.
That you don't this is a great one-off. This felt like the Christmas special kind of cartoon.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't need more out of this storyline. It'd be cool if they did. I'm totally fine with them not. And if they don't come back to this, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because he accomplished his father or his master's goal or whatever, and he did it.
And he's kind of the first robot, to my knowledge, first droid Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely as far as I know.
Yeah, that comes to mind, right?
Yeah. I mean, Grievous is the closest thing you can even contemplate.
He's more like a cyborg.
He's a Hornet or whatever and all that. Yeah. So, I don't know. But, I give this one, for me, personally, and this is going to be controversial, I already know Jerry's going to fucking hate this one. I'm going to give this an S tier. I'm going straight to fucking S on this one. Loved it. Obviously his name is 2B1.
Yeah.
I had a strong connection to this.
Yeah.
Well, at some point,
and the Pinocchio story.
Yeah,
it's almost like it became his real name, right?
And then it also kind of feels like Obi-Wan, like Toby-Wan.
Yeah. I was sold. I was sold on this one. As corny as it seemed, I like the art direction too. I love the little flashes when it changed to like the other style art. The whole thing as a whole, I thought was fantastic. And like I said, what I'm looking for in this show, I feel like I'm the only one going for this, but I want from beginning to end, it's its own little fucking thing. Yeah, and I feel like this was exactly that. So I give this an S tier. Fun for the whole family. BK, go ahead.
It probably was the one that's most family friendly.
For sure.
I'd probably give it I'd probably go B+ territory because I got to put it slightly below some of the other ones, but then slightly above the other one I rated at a B. I feel like I love most everything about it. The Pinocchio vibes were like maybe slightly too strong for me. Where I was just like, this is so Pinocchio. Like the beginning of the episode, like all I could think was like, this is just Pinocchio. What is going on right now? But overall, like, yeah, it's amazing. So, like, I don't know, the finale of it is fantastic, and the montage of him like terraforming the planet or like doing the whole thing, like even though it's a totally different thing, reminded me of that droid montage in Mandalorian where he teaches the droid how to get like it was just like I don't know, just a droid like doing stuff and going through the process and whatever. It's like,
carrying the cup and all that.
Carrying the cup. Like he's doing way more advanced stuff, but like it was still just like
it was cool.
Workshopped, like I mean Tony Stark vibes too, just like getting stuff done and whatever.
Dude, I want an action figure that 2B1.
Oh, me too.
I want it. Dude, I might get fucking tattoo Red Jerry. All right, Nick D, what are we feeling?
I'm gonna give it a. I'll give it like an A- because I loved it. And it's like again like what BK was just saying. It's like I almost feel like I've got to lower it a little bit because there are ones that I like loved, like have no criticism of. I really like this one. The only and then same thing. Like if there's more, I would love that. I want more of this. The only thing I'll say, and I think this is just from the last episode. What I thought for sure was going to happen is that his dad, his father figure, was actually going to be a Sith. And what I thought was happening is the reason why he can't go in the basement because I thought he was like, I'm going to create a droid to want to be a Jedi so I can use him to hunt Jedis. Like I was playing the game of dark side. I was like, this is all like a trick. And then it turns out like, oh, he's just a sweet old man. I'm a dick. Like I thought for sure this was gonna take a hard left turn because it was so cutesy. I was like, this is about to get grim. But yeah, really loved it. A-. Yeah, loved it. For sure, want a 2B toy.
All right, Jerry.
Probably with B. I liked it. I mean, when I was watching it, I was like, whatever. But then I think watching it again while you guys were talking about it, it's like, oh, I liked it more than I thought. So
yeah. Surprising, Jerry.
It was the company that did Adventure Time, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Wow. I didn't know that. That's sick.
That's crazy.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was Adventure Time. Ooh.
Interesting. All right, well, let's move on to episode 7. I know this is going to be a controversial one because I have a gut feeling that everyone's going to have different feelings than me. I don't think it's the Elder. My bad, BK. I fucked up. I didn't say the name. It's the Elder. I don't have a lot of notes on this one because off tops I was totally thrown off. Wasn't necessarily into the art style on this one, and something that really bothered me off tops. I'm sure this is where I'm going to differ from my friends here. The haircut of the Jedi just bothered me instantly.
I love his look.
Fucking bothered me.
All right, so in Clone Wars, I'm not gonna remember what his name is, but there's this one Jedi who pops up here and there, and he's like this hippie Jedi, basically. I can't even describe it any other way than that. But he kind of gave me vibes about that guy too, and like I love that guy from Clone Wars, even though I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, look up like Clone Wars Jedi.
I thought he was kind of Keanu Reeves-esque too. Like he was giving me a little bit of Keanu vibes.
Totally. Yeah, I guess it gave me. I would say I'm not gonna say close friend of the show, but former Overshow member. Now stand-up comedian genius Mark Smalls vibes, and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
He does look like Smalls.
Yeah, right there, especially right there. You see like this weird, like he had the beanie on sideways. What's up, Doug? So, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I wasn't feeling it. It off tops, it bothered me. It looked like he needed a haircut. Interesting. What's up, Jerry?
What did you want me to look up, Nick?
The hippie Jedi from Clone Wars. I was just seeing if we can get a picture.
That's that's not enough info.
It honestly might pop up. Because that's exactly what he is. Like even like Qui-Gon is like
this
a little
guy?
more. Yeah. Boom. Quinlan Voss.
He looks nothing like the other dudes.
Yeah, but it's about his vibe, dude. It's about his vibe.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying.
Here's what I'm gonna say though, Beaks. We'll get more into this episode, The Elder. It had nothing to do with his vibe. I just like
character design. You don't like the way he looks.
It just, especially because his Padawan has the classic Padawan dread.
A
little lock or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then homie, he just looks too much. I really did enjoy the look of their spacecraft though. I thought their spaceship was really interesting looking. I liked the shape, and it's a little penisy, but I like the shape.
Can I see it? I don't even have a mental image.
It was just there a second ago, Jared. Yeah, well, there's the shot. Yeah. It just looks cool. It kind of reminds me of that base in Solo, the movie that
Vision has. Yeah.
That he flies off on or
Paul
whatever.
Bettany.
Yeah. But like a smaller version of that kind of vibe.
Party ship or whatever they call it, something like
I thought it was really cool shit. I wrote that down. The next thing that I caught in the very beginning of the episode, when Homie says he's got a feeling, whatever, it was very Obi-Wan New Hope, when they're on the Millennium Falcon and they're flying and the planet's been destroyed. And he says the kind of similar line of that. He says 100 years since the Sith has been gone.
Yeah, this is somewhere like probably between... It's before any of the movies, right? And
that's what puts...
It's also like seems like it would be before the whole High Republic book publishing thing, comic thing they've been doing recently.
Yeah.
It would be like more like early days of the Republic.
Is that what your assumption is, BK?
Yeah.
That's what I
guess not early days, but like considering it
takes place before the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
Good call.
The Republic lasts for super long. Like
that line.
Yeah.
It puts
he says something about like it can't be a Sith. The Sith have been doesn't he say that in this one? Like, it can't be a Sith because the Sith has been
that's what I'm saying. 100 years.
And then I feel like the Elder even says something like he kind of disputes that he's a Sith. Like he gives like a vague answer where he's like, well.
Later in the episode.
Yeah. Like the guy even kind of.
Well, before we even get there though, another thing that minus points for your boy Tubi. It was funny. But I'm also like, what the fuck is going on in this? Was the food recommendation the Jedi gives to the Padawan when they land on the planet.
Yeah.
Thought that was a little corn dog. He tells them, like, try this while we're here. And I was like, what the fuck?
And then he's like, wise as always, master.
Yeah. It was a little corn dog.
He's a well-traveled Jedi. He's been around the galaxy. He got a dope haircut. He knows all the food spots. He knows what the bar you need to go to land the planet. Like, this guy knows everything. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Everywhere.
So then they stumble upon what obviously seemed immediately to me was a cool-looking Sith ship. Can we get that going, Jared, where they show us the ship?
Yeah, for sure. I know it had TIE fighter elements.
Yeah.
It had that, like, black paneling.
Yeah. It was a cool-looking spaceship.
For sure.
And it was definitely Sith, too.
It's almost like a TIE fighter mixed with the snow thing, the snow ships.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the snow speeder thing.
Snow speeders, yeah. It was immediately, though, like, that's a Sith,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then we see the weird animal. I forget that he names off what the animals are. It was almost like a dog, lion-esque looking thing. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I was into that. I wanted to see more of them. I wish we got to see one of those alive. Homeboy goes up the mountain with 3 little kids who then disappeared, though. Like, the 3, I'll point this out to you. This was also what bothered me about this episode. He goes up there, runs into the Sith. When they show him originally walking up there, he's following those 3 young kids, right?
Yeah.
But then when he runs into the Sith, the 3 little kids have disappeared, and he ends up getting what we thought was murdered by the Sith, right?
Yeah.
Then his master comes running up. Where did those 3 kids go? We see them at the end of the episode at the bottom of the hill.
I think
they scramble and go hiding.
A little bit of a story lost here, guys. I'm just saying.
So right there, he sends him away. Yeah,
he sends him away?
Yeah.
He tells him to get lost? Okay.
Yeah.
I must have forgot that part.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bothered me. I'm still going to say
C-minus,
yeah. It's fucking easily a C- right here, guys. It gets further down the more I talk about it. We get another, I've got a bad feeling about this for Jerry, that's a minus point. Homeboy, then the Sith shows up, the Elder, which he was the coolest part of the whole fucking episode.
Dude, James Hong, right? Is that his name? He's a famous actor. You know him from, isn't he in Big Trouble in Little... Episode guide.
But yeah, he pops up, he looks badass, loved his creepy teeth.
Oh man, when they do the close-up of his mouth when he first pops up, like, oh yeah.
Busts out the badass...
Yeah, James Hong.
Badass fucking... he's been in a million movies.
Yeah.
Badass red lightsabers that look awesome.
Yeah. I like how they're little, too. They're almost like knives. Like, they're swords to him, because he's short.
Yeah,
but, like, if we were to... It's like, they're just like little...
Yeah. He was creepy, bro. He was the part that saved the whole episode for me was him.
Yeah. 100%. He's the best part, 100%.
You know, and then the battle ensues. It turns out the Padawan's still alive. He fucking helps the Jedi. The Jedi smokes the old man. I was gonna say, because
we're seeing it right here, the colors of the lightsabers
really vibrant.
Just like so.
Yeah, it was kind of like the first
saturated
episode.
And like I don't know, they're just like very distinct.
Yeah,
looking.
it was cool.
Totally,
it was cool.
I like the mix too of classic lightsaber that looks blunt like a stick versus knives one. Like I like it seems like in each one it's kind of one or the other, and this one it's
they got both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that it ends and it leaves on a note like, you know, where they can easily follow up on this one, or they don't have to necessarily, which I give a little points to. It was its own little kind of like single-off story about a Jedi and his Padawan, and you kind of learn from it, you know. He gives you the spiel at the end. It was very like, you know, what really made him lose was time, you know.
Yeah.
If he was younger, you know, and I like that, and I will say that whole ending spiel saved the episode for me.
For sure.
And I thought that was a cool way to end it.
Because even a Jedi, he's like, I'm not going to boast that I beat an old man.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, like, humble of him, of, like...
Well, he says, I'm going downhill, you're going uphill to the Padawan, too. Which I thought was cool in its truth. And there was, like, that overall Star Wars thing where it gave you, like, these, like, life lessons.
It was, like, classic Master Padawan story. Which, you know... Very, very high Star Wars vibes.
Right. I give it whatever. So, for me... And I purely mean this because of the fucking haircut. I give it a C-. I honestly, if they fixed the haircut, right, I might have given it a B.
Yeah.
That fucking haircut bothers me that much. BK knows, Like, I don't want...
It's going to be our biggest disparity.
Oh, I know. Honestly, I want to give it a D, but like I said earlier, I wasn't going to do that to any of these episodes. They were all fun. And the more I talk about the ending and how the ending kind of wrapped it all up, and it was a nice piece. Because it doesn't need a follow-up. It is a great little thing.
Yeah.
It could have been in a cartoon, like in a Christmas special or something like that. Yeah. You're good to go. It is its own piece. That's why I got to give it a C and not a fucking lower thing. Because look at... Jared's got it on the screen now again, on both sides. Dude, he's the worst looking Jedi I've ever seen. By far. So I'm going to give it a C. A C. Fair enough. And I don't want to follow up of it, because I never want to see that Jedi ever again. Go ahead, BK.
I'm going to go S territory.
Wow. Disgusting.
I have to think about it more, but it's probably at least the top 3 for me of all of them overall. Honestly, even though Tubi hates the haircut, I want to see this guy go all over the galaxy. They already intimate that he's been everywhere, and this is a part of the timeline where we've never seen Jedi running around the galaxy. Like, give me all the stories with this guy and his Padawan. I want to see way more of this time period where it's like the Sith have been gone for a little while, but like the Jedi Order's probably not like all the way built up, and like I don't know, that dude's like, he's now one of my favorite Jedi. He up there, he's like Qui-Gon level. Like, I'm just like a hippie weirdo, almost outside of the Order slightly, but like also just like super wise and in tune with the Force and stuff. And
totally.
I don't know. I love this episode.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Nick.
I'm just gonna agree. S. I want more.
Wow.
Specifically, and I'll even say like,
wow.
If let's say we take this episode and nothing changes other than like it was like it's at the end of Rise of the Skywalker now. What I like so much about this is like, dude, I want more of these early Jedi stories. Like, I think just the world of this one, it's like, yeah, dude, I want more of this. Like, and like BK was saying, like, not only do I want more of these two, but like, even if it's not these two, just this timeline, like early Jedi shit. Like, just give us more of that. Like, my only thing, which might even bump it down if I'm gonna pull a Tubi, I think the Padawan's name of Dan. We got a Jedi named Dan. that's like, it should have been like even like Dab or Dam or you know, like, it's like I just think it's so weird that it's like there could theoretically be Jedi's named Nick, and that kind of bums me out.
John.
I don't want that.
You know, and just looking at this cast list right now, like, I'll take David Harbour with that haircut in live action. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me that.
Before I even ask Jared what he's going to say, I'm going to mark mine down even more. I am going to give this a D. Just for these two. I think it's so much. I'm fucking bumping it down to D. That haircut is fucking disgusting. Worst thing ever. Might be the least favorite Jedi of all time.
If they come back and with a buzzed head, are you like...
I'm going to be sold. Like, he was cool. Like I said, the ending spiel, dude, it's literally, when it opened and I saw that, I was like...
Fast forward, you're like...
To me, I feel strongly about about disliking this is how Jerry did it with episode 2. Like, I was just like, like, this is for me.
Yeah.
Alright, but Jerry...
because of a haircut.
Yeah, all because of a haircut. Look at that fucking thing, dude.
It's like...
It's too much. Like, what is he, like, emo fucking Star Wars dude? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
he's struggling with the Force.
My Chemical Star Wars.
Yeah, My Chemical Star Wars. Fucking A. Alright, Jerry, hit us with it.
I'll throw you a bone tubes and I'll give it a low S.
Low S.
That's not a bone at all, Jerry.
I like the art, and it's I think this is the second Studio Trigger one.
Exactly. I'm a fanboy for Studio Trigger. Yeah.
I think it goes back to the like heavy samurai thing. So
Yeah.
It was cool, but I get the hair thing. It is just like what?
It's annoying.
He's committed.
And the fact that you've left it, here's what really bothers me why it's going back. Jerry's just left it on the screen for so long that I'm like, yeah, I really don't like that. And we got all these classic Star Wars action figures in front of us, and it's like, no, that's not it.
Have a haircut except for Luke and...
This is my good man.
He's got a classic short haircut like a normal American person.
Luke has long hair. Right here. Luke got long hair.
He's got like Beach Boys long hair. He doesn't have like
John
kind of interesting
We're going to stay on this for a little bit
hairstyle.
longer. Real quick. If we go Ultimate Jedi, Luke Skywalker all black with one glove, Michael Jackson style, green lightsaber. If that's the top Jedi, hood up, right? Versus haircut, dude, you gotta be fucking F all over the place. Moving on.
I don't think we should do it this episode, but we should rank Jedis. I think
we should get outfits like Halloween.
Yeah, dude, I think that's a great idea. Because I think you nailed it. All black, green Luke.
And then it's Samuel Jackson. It's fucking
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu. It's probably
we should
badass looking motherfucker coming in, bro. Badass. Look, you know.
We should rank Avengers
outfits,
thank you, and we should Marvel outfits, and we should rank
Ultimate. Look at that hair. Look at the whole thing. The anchor in the hand, bro. Those boots and shit. He about to ride a horse. Look at that shit. I never noticed that before.
He's got that like wrestler belt.
Oh my god, I want the hood though. What he has in the hood. When he comes in and yeah. Thank you, Jared. Oh my god, dude.
I don't know.
Smalls versus fucking me.
Get
the fuck out of here. Alright, episode 8. I don't know how to even say this. Jerry, hit me with the pronunciation.
La Pinocho?
Yeah, La Pinocho.
La Pinocho, okay. I knew it was Ocho, but La. Alright, this one, I don't have that much notes. I was really actually sunk into this one. This one's going to be a high one for your boy Tubi.
Yeah,
really was into this. First thing I noticed off tops is when they showed the bunny people, and maybe Jerry could pull this up or Nick D. I know, and then I looked into it, and there's a whole story. We won't go too far in it. We can go on a different time about it. But the bunny people are a whole thing that Marvel, I'm pretty sure, made up. I forget what the name of the race is. But they've been. I knew I'd seen them before. You know, like I knew that they had made an appearance in the Star Wars universe before. You know, so I instantly was like, I've seen this bunny person. It's a comic.
Oh, I was gonna say from what?
Marvel made it up for a comic years ago.
Oh,
yeah, and it's a dude. He's green, I'm pretty sure, and he wears a red like space suit.
That's sick.
So this episode takes place right after the Bad Batch.
Oh, so this is that's crazy.
That's what they said?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, wait,
Bad Batch season 1. Yeah.
And so when does Bad Batch take place though?
After Order 66.
Oh, of course we see it right.
Yeah, we literally see Order 66.
My bad.
I thought it was interesting to me. You know, there's the whole little storyline. She's got a kick-ass little robot that's going around with her. I thought the robot was also, or the droid was also really cool that she has with her. Yeah. She's Lupo.
She's Lop.
She's Lop, right? Yeah.
And then Ocho
becomes the villain, right?
Yeah.
When we first meet the Imperial evil guy, I thought it was interesting that his ears, the top part was like dipped in green.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
I thought that was really interesting.
It felt like very Star Warsy.
Yeah,
like that's how weird fashion.
It stood out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was fashion
Maybe
or
just
born that way. Yeah. That stood out to me. I wrote that down in my notes. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Then the next thing that really stood out to me in the episode, like I said, I really enjoyed this one.
Me too.
I kind of just like. This is towards the end of me watching it too, so I was kind of just sinking my whole head into it at this point.
I don't think I was even on my phone at all for this.
No,
this one just absorbed me.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah.
the biting of the finger and then smearing the blood really creeped me out.
Dude, that was that. I think that like when she cut her hair and then did that, I was like, that was the moment for me of this episode.
Yeah, I wrote it down, but I was like, I really, like I said, I really like this. The animation style, everything about this one, the droid, the whole thing. Loved it. Thought it was amazing.
The motion of it, like I love just watching Lop run around or fight is sick. Like the actual like animation is great.
All of it's just great. Yeah. You know, and then the whole thing ensues with her dad and her sister, her step parents or adopted parents, and adopted sister. Interesting, great storyline going on.
I love the architecture in this one. Like when they show the temple, they show the Star Destroyer, with like the elevator coming down to the base, like
going through the water,
and then with the giant cherry blossom growing, like oh my god,
cherry blossom trees growing all over the place too.
Love the
base
visuals
off the side in the water, very cool.
What do you think about that haircut, Tubi?
He's the villain though.
It's doesn't this guy look like?
And he's got a goatee too. He's douchey, but you want him to be douchey. He's not a Jedi. If a fucking Jedi had his haircut, BK. Oh, episode would have been a flop, bro. Instant flop if the Jedi had that. I'm not like necessarily a Sith Lord. If you're asking me to rate him with all the other dudes, all the other like Imperial guys, compared to the dude from Rogue One with the cape, the white cape dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god, this guy's a joke.
Yeah, that dude.
I did like his ears though. The ears being dipped in the green.
He gave me a little Thrawn vibes on it.
A little bit of a Thrawn vibe, right? Yeah. But the haircut is a little wacky, and like, is he going gray or but it's striped? So it's like, did he do that on purpose? Like, he paid good money. The goatee bothers me, but we'll let it go. She looks badass when
Osho she looks great in Empire Guard.
When she becomes the Imperialist. You know, whatever, right? Yeah. She looks badass. So it overshadows Homeboy's emo haircut.
She has like strong Krennic vibes going.
But we're hopping a little far. What I really liked is when Loop. Did I say that right?
Lopo?
No, there's not Lop. When she flies with the umbrella, she like in her little speeder, which the speeder was badass too.
Yeah.
You know, had a little bit of a New Hope vibe on the speeder. But then she floats like instantly. You got the Jedi vibes from her because she's already got the lightsaber from her stepdad or her adopted dad. Yeah. And then she fucking floats in using an umbrella. I thought that was like in the visual of that. I thought it was badass. Really enjoyed that
for sure. Look at it, right there.
Yeah, right there. It was just like that's so cool.
I was waiting for an I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah. Total good vibes there. And then they have a kick-ass lightsaber battle with the dad versus the. There's a whole little thing going on.
Also, like they're using like some crazy sword
it was very Ninja Turtles
going on or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, he's
got size.
Raphael's size, and then she's using the stick. What's up?
Is that a crystal?
Yeah, it's almost like a miniature lightsaber.
Yeah, because it does burn because there's a shot later where you can see that when she slashes her sister, it's a burn, not a cut.
Yeah, totally. Well, she hits it with a lightsaber and that.
Yeah, that's right. And it creates that fire.
It still creates the X.
Yeah.
Well, their weapons are almost more like is it Force Awakens where Finn like busts out the stormtrooper busts out the stick thing?
It's not Force Awakens.
Traitorate the next one.
No, it's Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, because Han
fights with
Han's still there. Yeah, which also is in Fortnite.
And 100%. Yeah. And then in Solo, doesn't Paul Bettany have like a knife that's like a laser, but it's not a lightsaber, but
it's almost like a
it's like a knife that has like a laser blade.
Yeah, or when going through the jungle.
Like machete.
Like a machete almost. Machete vibe.
Lots of interesting weapons going on.
Crazy battle, just crazy battle. My only thing, I literally wrote this. The ending pissed me off. It sucked because, like I've said this whole time tonight, for me, what I'm really looking for is a complete story. It left me with blue balls. By the end of it, I was like, I really want more of this. Out of all the shows tonight.
Now that they said that this takes place, after Bad Batch Season 1, they can show up in Season 2.
Bad Batch? Amazing. But to be honest, though, I don't want that. I want them to get their own fucking thing.
Yeah, me too.
Or a comic or something. Yeah. I really like this one. My rating on this one's going to be S tier. This probably, for being adult content, I honestly think because, for me, Star Wars is made for kids. That's why I would say probably 2BB1 was the best episode. But for adult content, or what have you, or teenage content, this is by far my favorite episode. And I really would like them to follow this one up. personally.
Yeah.
I think it needs it too, and that's the only thing. I'm not going to give it S+ tier. I'm just going to give it an S tier because I honestly think that the ending kind of blue balled me, and I was really like, that's the first one I felt like, fuck, that could have went on for 5-10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Just to wrap it up more.
Well, it was already one of the longer ones too.
Yeah. I know, but at the end, she floats off, the bad girl, and you're left there just like, fuck, like, give me 5 more minutes and have her kill her or something. You know what I'm saying? So at least it's done. But at the same time, hopefully, this actually turns into something more.
Yeah.
And that bunny race, I really want to see more about them. Yeah. We'll have to get back to them at a different time.
No, George hated it.
Yeah. There's a whole thing that George didn't like it. Marvel made it. There was a whole little spiel. I'm sure you can look it up on the internet.
And I'm sure he didn't like it because I'm sure they didn't okay it with him.
Like,
if he had some say in it, I'm sure they could have found him
if he
a
had
middle
input
ground.
on the design.
Yeah, so he was just like, don't like it.
Yeah. Beaks, what's your rating? Tier.
I guess I go like B+ A- territory on this one. It's like on the bubble of some of the other episodes for me in terms of like the overall strength of it, but like it's way less. There's not as much like, even though there's all the crazy weapons, there's not as much like Samurai Ronin kind of vibes going on in this one.
Yeah.
And it's like not quite as insane as like the Twins episode, but it's like kind of veering into that territory a little bit more.
I feel you.
And yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him follow it up, and I didn't even realize until I said it, but if I would be stoked, like even if they get their own thing, if they somehow just like pop up in an episode of Bad Batch or just one of them, like even like just the bad sister, you just get it. Like I don't know if she's doing something, you're just like, oh, that's the same like character, or they like run into Bunny Girl like somewhere and they just like have a one-off episode with like an adventure with her, like that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, I'd be down. Yeah.
Nick D?
Like I feel like my instinct is to give it an S. Yeah, I mean, I just really liked it. Like, again, like, I like the story, but, like just the way it looks, like, the animation, like, that goes so far for me. And I love just the style of this one. I think it looks great. So, yeah, I'll give it an S. I don't know, that might be a little high. Maybe it's an A. I might come back to that later, but I'll give it an S. And, yeah, for sure, like BK said, I want more in any context, either the pop-ins or a full-on show. Like, I'm down. I do hope that when we see Lop again, though, I want her to have her dad Sai as well. I think that'd be sick.
Both weapons?
Yeah, like the lightsaber and the one that didn't break.
Yeah,
I think
the lightsaber too. It had the writing in the bottom, which was interesting.
Yeah. Again, we've already said it, but some of the best lightsabers in Star Wars have been in Visions.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Well, it's so heavy on lightsabers and
comic there's so many. Yeah.
All right, Jerry, hit us with it.
Either A or S, probably closer to an A. I liked it. It was cool. I liked the visuals. Classic Japanese vibes.
Yeah.
Bunny. It was instead of like an alien or something, it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is a sort of a main character that we finally get, and that's like not.
That's the reason why I asked tiered it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, the 2B1 and this one, for me, that's what I'm looking. The rest of the shit, to be honest, it was same old Jedi bullshit with funny haircuts. Moving on. I don't even know how to pronounce this 9th episode. Jerry hit me with it.
Akakiri?
Akakiri? Alright, there we go.
This one felt the most like a Western. Like, this one didn't feel so much like a samurai thing. This felt like a cowboy thing to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. They were riding those like weird emu objects.
Yeah. Have we seen those bird things before?
No.
They just kind of look familiar.
Look like, what the fuck are they riding on Hoth? Tauntauns. It's kind of like a desert tauntaun.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Tauntaun,
For this episode, I really enjoyed the two funny guys that are showing the princess through the desert and stuff to get her back to the castle. I pondered, why is she out in the desert? There was no real explanation of why. If she was from the castle and her dad was murdered and all that, how the hell did she get out to the desert to begin with? It seems like the Jedi was showing up to save her, but why was she out there? And that was never really explained at all.
100%, yeah, you're right. Like,
that bothered me. It's going to probably be another controversial one when I give it a low rating.
When I give it a low rating.
Thought it was cool. They showed crossbows. But like,
do we know what those guys are? I'm sorry to interrupt, but what have you guys seen those aliens?
Never seen that before. No, they pop up this whole episode. Thought the crossbow was cool, but really crossbows in Star Wars, is that necessary? Question mark for me.
Chewbacca.
He shoots laser beams. They were shooting arrows.
But it's it's a lo-fi version of
I'm waiting on a lightsaber, bro.
So that doesn't mean they have access to all kinds of stuff
I
to get weapons, you know?
Okay, we battle BK one day.
We've got a
I have lightsaber. You have crossbow.
Well, I'm going down, obviously, we'll see what happens, but, you know.
Dude, George Takei Star Trek in Star Wars. Is that the first time
this is a double sellout episode.
Like, that's crazy.
Wow.
Like, yeah. Like,
I was going to say earlier, we mentioned about how you love the voiceover intro. That's kind of Star Trek.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of things have voiceovers for BK.
I know, but in terms of space stuff going on, you know, every time there's Captain's Log, like, coming
not in the original.
Maybe not in the movies, but like...
No, the cartoon, was it? I mean, the cartoon, the fucking TV show, the original show?
I don't know.
You're thinking Next Generation. Get out of here.
That's my Star Trek.
Yeah. Oh, that's your Star Trek? BK, 10 points minus. I wrote down the crossbow thing because I just thought it was interesting. It shot arrows. Yeah. Not laser beams, but little arrows.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Like, what Jerry, what's the time period on this one? Doesn't say.
This one
is in chronological order. It's the very first one. 1,000 years before the prequels.
1,000 years before.
Okay, you know what? I take back my crossbow comments because that really predates the show.
Yeah.
Darth Bane? Wasn't he? Yeah. He's like from the novels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he predates. Yeah, that's crazy.
And isn't he like?
Wow, so this is before Bane, and wow.
Okay. And isn't Darth Bane like one of the few Siths that actually has light side powers? Like he's a bad guy that is able to. He uses love somehow or something.
I forget what the whole or he like was he trained as a Jedi and fell to the dark side?
Maybe it's because he wanted to save his wife or something. Right. Like he's got like a really complicated.
Well, because isn't he? Is it the video game where the main part of his story takes place or something?
I think it's a
Republic.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Exactly.
It's like I've never played all the way through, so I don't know the whole.
It's getting remastered.
Yeah. I know people love the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting to hear. It's interesting that the sister of the king is now part of the dark side and has killed the king, which would be the aunt of the female, the princess role.
Yeah.
The highlight of this episode that I really enjoyed was the trickery in this one, where the Sith tricks the Jedi into killing the princess.
The vision he's been having.
Yeah, that whole little thing, the way that they played it out.
I like the way she looks too. Like she just looks tough.
She reminded me of the bad guy from fucking Lion King or something over here. It's the way she's walking up. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Alright, and then the Jedi, which obviously this Jedi sucks, instantly makes a deal with the Sith to bring back his loved one, which was very like Anakin.
I was gonna say it's heavy Anakin vibes. There's a lot of like Anakin and Obi-Wan merging going on here. There's like the Anakin Padme thing going on, but also in the Clone Wars, there's Obi-Wan and the Duchess Satine, who he, sort of like
the cartoon. Right?
They don't really get into it, but they had a thing going on, and him and
Qui-Gon.
But
nothing happens from it.
Well. Not in the Clone Wars, but they kind of make it seem like something happened back in the day, because Qui-Gon once showed up to her planet and like helped her out, and that's how he first knew her. Yeah. So I got very strong vibes of like I've always wanted to see like I wish we could see young Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon like going back.
You would like to see that.
I mean, we're not talking about tag teaming anyone, TV. We're talking about saving a princess. Okay.
When is that Obi-Wan show? Jarvis, when is the due date? The release date for that?
It's for another year or so.
Okay. Because it just finish filming, so it's all just editing now, right?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's done filming or not.
I could have swore I read that, but...
I know it started filming, but I don't know.
I've heard all that though, BK. I'd seen something though that they never actually hooked up or anything.
I need to watch the Clone Wars. I've never seen
it. As far as I know, there's nothing that says for sure one way or the other. But it's like kind of like Obi-Wan, right? Had this love interest that he then didn't like...
4 days ago.
Stay with forever. He committed to the Jedi Order. Then Anakin had the love interest with Padme. He fell to the dark side because of it. So there's just like a lot of
there's a
lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah. Then they bring the princess back to life, and then it just honestly it just ends right there. If I'm not mistaken, like he walks off with the Sith and the princess is back alive. Right? Yeah. Like, get me right to the end, Jared. Like,
so it's almost like he...
And then it just ends right there, right?
You know, it's the end of the Skywalker thing, how Kylo saves Rey, or Rey... How does that end? But it's the same thing. He basically used the last of his good to bring her back.
Yeah, and now he's just a Sith.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end it here with this one. I'll also wrap it up here. I'll give it a C at best. And if they really like it, I'm probably going to minus it down.
I mean, this is definitely like A territory for me.
I don't need any follow-up to this one. I really hope they don't with this one. That was fine. You know.
I don't think it doesn't necessarily need to be followed up.
Yeah, because it's cool. Because like you know, he's part of the dark side. Yeah. I do not think it's more interesting. I'm still going to stay with my C. I do think it's more interesting knowing now that it takes place way before all that.
Yeah.
And I guess that explains the stupid crossbow thing. There was a lot of things that bothered me in this one though. So I'm just going to give it a C. I don't care if we ever come back to that storyline. I honestly thought that was... I think they should have gone 8 and 9 should have flip-flopped. I think they should have ended with 8. Personal opinion.
I 100%
And with a strong, a heavy one.
100%.
And the end of this 9th
one. 1 and 9
I think it would have ended with the 9th Jedi.
Or
9 episodes.
Yeah.
It was a really short episode, and it was called the 9th Jedi. Like, I probably would have ended with that one.
CBK, I'm liking that too.
They called it.
Flip-flop those two, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
This one, though, that one was
this would have been a strong 8. Yeah, this would have been a strong 8.
Dude, I love the little... Like, we're getting back into 8, but...
The Dragon Ball Z thing?
Yeah. The whole thing in 8. I loved 8. S tier. This one, C tier, because of some minor things that I didn't like. The overall storyline, though, it was cool. And the two dudes, they were fun.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
they were fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way the Sith lady looked, too. That bothered me as well. I don't know, overall.
Interesting animation style. Like, just the way things look are... It looks so unlike the rest of the other 8.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't for me.
It's the same company that did 2v1.
Really? Well, they dropped the ball on this one. All right, BK, go ahead. What you gonna give it?
Yeah, I give it A territory for sure. It's just got so much classic, Jedi and Sith going on for me, and the whole like parallels of Anakin and Obi-Wan and all their stuff going on. And it's like Anakin makes a deal with the devil, and he doesn't even get what he wanted in the first place. This guy makes a deal with the devil, and he does actually get what he wanted, but then he
makes a deal
goes
with
off.
The Sith. Let's not say devil.
Yeah, whatever. I'm using it metaphorically.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not literal devil, but that's right. Like that's what he does. He makes a deal to keep Padme alive. That doesn't work out. This guy makes a deal to bring her back to life. He comes back to life, but now he's off with the dark side. So it's like just a flip, like mirror version of like that story, and like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, you gave it an A?
I give it an A. I don't necessarily need to see
overall,
more.
What was your lowest one? You didn't go lower than a B even.
No, I didn't go
lower. Me neither, yeah. I didn't go lower.
Your rating sucks. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Nick.
I go so low.
I feel like all
night... I just on him.
I don't have to be harder on him. You told me this is a feel-good show, Tubi.
Yeah, it is, but some of these... I'm not saying they were horrible.
No, you're just comparing them to each other.
And you guys are being so soft that I gotta go harder on them now as well. I feel someone's gotta be the dick.
No, I think you're.
And Jerry's kicked it off with his attack at the band. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nick T.
I feel like all night I've just been parroting BK, but I agree. I'd give it an 8, and then it really like. I think the ending is my favorite part, just because it's like, dude, I like in all episodes we've seen people become Jedis, and I'm just like, God damn, someone become a Sith.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. Nothing
else.
else.
Just dark note.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of Empire Strikes Back or whatever. Vibes were like, oh, the bad guy won.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like, oh man.
I might bump mine up actually because Nick. That's the best point. It does end on a sour note,
and it's just something. It's like I'm repeating myself even in this episode. I just want when I come to a franchise that I've been watching since I was like fucking 5.
Yeah.
I want something different, and it's like, dude, a guy becoming a Sith. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
you know?
Very Darth Vader-y.
Yeah.
Anything to Darth. All right, Jerry, hit us with it.
B or C. You know, it wasn't bad, but I don't need it anymore. I think the most interesting thing is that it's like, this took place 1,000 years before everything else. Other than that, it's just kind of like, whatever. Your master tried to tell you not to do this, and you did it.
So this one and the Elder, then, right? Like, kind of.
Are in the same.
General like time frame. Like
You know what would have been really cool too, and like I didn't need this, and I'm not trying to like armchair rate.
Actually, no, they still are like thousands of years apart because he says something in the Elder about like the Sith have been gone for 100 years or whatever, right?
You're right.
So they are actually farther apart, but they still take place both way before any of the movies.
Yeah. They're closer to each other than they are to like Rey.
Yeah, for sure.
Like what would have been dope, but now with what you just said, it couldn't have worked. It would have been dope if this dude was Dan. Like, if this was that guy's apprentice, and, like, he was just kind of, like, we saw him train with that one dude, and then here we see him fall. Like, that would have just been nice if there was any link between any of the 9. But, again, that's not affecting my rating. I'm still giving it an A. Like, it would have been nice if there was, even if the studio Trigger ones, because Trigger's the only one that appears on this list twice, if there was a link between the twins and the duel. What is the other Trigger one? Oh, the Elder. Yeah. Like that would have been dope if there was just any kind of linkage. But again, don't need it. Like that's not necessary for me.
Yeah. And Jerry, you gave your rating already, Jerry, right? You gave it an A, whatever. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Has Sidhu said anything?
No, he left already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. That's it. You know,
how about overall? Overall,
what's your favorite one?
Oh, favorite one. I mean, either La Pinocho or either 1, 6, or 8. La Pinocho, the Ninth Jedi, or the Duel, the first one. Like I think those are my 3 favorites.
Neither of them. You got one?
One. If we're doing one, then Ninth Jedi.
If I gotta pick one, it's
to follow up.
Jedi. I think that is my favorite, and that's what I want to follow up. Overall, like I've rated all of the episodes. I feel like it's got to be an S. This is like one of my favorite, like the show as a whole, not even just the individual episodes. This is one of my favorite Star Wars things. Like I love this whole thing. I want a season 2, even if it's none of like what if it's a what if where it's like we're gonna get a season 2, but it'll be 9 new episodes. Super down, super down. I loved Visions.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
BK, pick one episode that you want to continue on, and then you can pick a different one as your favorite one. Because for me, I think that's 2 separate things.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think they just have to be the same thing.
If it is the same.
I mean, number 1 I already know is going on, so...
Yeah.
I meant as a show, though.
Yeah.
Continue on in this. Like, let's say they made it into a full episode. Or a show. Movie.
I'd love to see more of the twins.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's probably not maybe it wasn't my favorite, but it was the most absolutely ridiculous of all of them.
I almost think that would be the most fun. If it was a show, like that would be...
I like to see, more of that. But yeah, The Ninth Jedi was probably my favorite.
Yeah. Best storyline.
Yeah. Just all the lightsaber stuff was just awesome.
I'm going to go controversial. I'm going to go, best one was 2B1.
I don't think that's controversial. I think that's an amazing episode.
Star Wars made for kids. That's obviously the best one. Obviously the best one.
Jared, really quick, can we see the IMDb rating for 2B01? I just want to see did the internet
was the
like
8th one? La Pinocho?
Yeah.
That I think is the one I want to see them follow up on.
Yeah.
If they follow up on any, it's that one for me. I think that the other one though, it being for kids and what Star Wars should be for, is that's when I got into it.
Yeah.
2BB1.
Yeah.
And they should hire me to be the actor for that film.
One is Science Saru, and they did like...
No, not the studio. The rate. Like, did the internet like that episode? Like, what star rating did they give 2B01 number 6? 6 points. See, the internet's full of fucking.
Yeah, that's also why I always do like the underdog shit.
Sorry, internet. We know we want you to.
No,
like
it
this,
is. Star Wars fans suck.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
Dude, did any of them break up? Okay, the Elder did. I was like, are any of them above a 6?
Elder gets an 8.3. That's oh my god, trash. All right, we're ending this now. Oh, Jerry,
I told you other people like that haircut too.
Dude, it's disgusting. Jerry, hit me with it. What you gonna go with?
For the one I want to see more would be the twins, and then I like
that one's good.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to see Neil Patrick Harris, Alison Brie.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the twins one I would rate up there high too because that was kind of kid friendly as well. It had to do with 2 teens in a way. Yeah, I could see that one taking off.
I like that art.
Yeah, the art was cool. Exactly, it was very Powerpuffy Girl.
You know what's really cool about it? Like, one of the things that studio does, and they did in Promare a lot, is if you go back to rewatch it, they don't do a lot of lines. Like, there's not line art. It's like colors just... Like, if you look at his hair, it's not... There's not a black line going from the background to his hair. It's just color. And that's what gives it that almost kind of, like, painterly look. That there's a little bit of black line when they need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that look.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, altogether, I think Visions is cool. Yeah. I don't, I know Nick said it's one of his favorite Star Wars things. I can't say that. That's to me, that's crazy person talk. That's crazy person talk. But it was cool for what it was. It was definitely cool. You know, it was cool to finally see animation. We haven't really seen that since. Fuck.
It's always CG.
Ewoks or droids, the cartoon, or something like that. It's been that long. What? So we get all these crazy BK shows now. It's all digital animation, which I'm not super into.
Sasha's not
so it was awesome.
Yeah. Digital animation too.
Well, no, but you know what I fucking mean. Stylistically. And shit. There was some digital scenes too. Like the scenes in episode 2 where they show the pod racing. Yeah. Anyways, we've been going on for a long, long time. Jerry's gotta get to bed. It's New York. It's probably fucking 2 in the morning.
What time did we start? Is there a timer on this? How long have we been going?
It's what, Jared?
It's Saturday, so that's not really
no excuses, Jared.
We need you to go to bed.
Yeah, we're ending this, Jerry.
I think it was about 2 hours. I think we started around midnight-ish.
The original plan was to do 4 episodes and then 5 episodes. I'm actually kind of glad we just burned through.
Well, we had to. The show's short. That's the only thing I liked about Visions too. You know, while we're still on air.
Yeah.
They were so short, we decided to power through all of them. We got BK, because who knows if BK would come back for a second episode. Boom. I'd like to thank special guest BK for coming out tonight to talk Star Wars, even though his ratings were off the chart too high, but that's fine.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah, BK, sure.
Do you know how much it takes for me to rate Star Wars as being bad? It's got to be really bad.
Yeah. Well, and I respect that, because, like the one thing I'll say about, like, the movies and stuff, and even though these cartoons, after seeing what IMDb's ratings were or whatever, people fucking are so quick to hate.
I'm honestly shocked that I guess the TOB one, like, it's, like, kind of weird, whatever. I guess I could see people not loving that one, but the fact that the internet rated the episode 2 so low is, like, surprising to me, because I thought most people would just be like, oh, this is weird and fun. Like,
people don't want to have fun.
I don't know.
All these other ones, serious samurai battles and shit. It was like, alright. And the thing to me was that there was a lot of that in all these episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I thought the 2BB1 one.
Yeah,
it was a good change of
pace. It was such a good change of pace. And the rock play.
Really quick, last question, and then we'll end it. Like, I'm not trying to hold anyone up. If we could, what do we want in season 2? Like, I would just say more aliens, more non-Jedi shit. Like, how about some bounty hunter shit? How about some Kessler run type shit? Like, I don't know, Ewoks. Yeah.
Oh, Jawas.
Yeah, exactly. Just give us some
sand people.
Dude, yeah.
Come on.
I mean, Tusken Raiders, because we're PC here. But
is that no,
that's a stupid joke.
Oh, yeah. Tusken Raiders and Jawas, them battling and shit.
Yeah,
where the Jawas beat the fucking Tusken Raiders or some shit.
Yeah.
Give me some Wookiee action.
Wookiees.
Yeah.
We saw a plan with Wookiees in the those prequel movies.
Let's go
back to Kashyyyk, bro.
Yeah.
You know, more droids too. Like maybe like an R2 unit or something that doesn't even talk. If they can do an episode where there's no speaking roles, and it's an R2 unit.
I want that for sure.
Not R2D2, but an R2 unit.
Yeah.
You know,
it's all sound effects.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Although I'm also into an R2D2 episode if they want to do that too.
Yeah, but you get one rating. You know, the one rating. The thing that's interesting to me is the one time they touched something that had to do with actual characters that we know.
Yeah.
Worst rating.
Yeah.
So they might try to stay away from that at this point. You know what I mean? Like, because they did, and they even got a good name actor to play the fucking lead voice.
Yeah.
I'd also say, last thing, be bold. Show us something far in the future. Show us something that's like, that they're like, Star Wars will eventually get here in 1,000 years. Like, even if people hate it. Yeah, exactly. Give us something weird.
No one speaks at all.
All these ones where they say, I mean, we'll see if this is really like true, but they say it takes place after Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
They don't say how long after.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Any one of those ones that takes place after, in my mind, in the far-flung future, 400, 300 years from then, they could fight Grogu or whatever.
Dude,
like, I don't know. Like,
that would be great, a Grogu episode. That would be cool.
Yeah.
What's up, Jerry?
this one website says maybe 40 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Maybe 40 years.
Okay. So Rey's probably old and has a Padawan by then?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wait, is that the right word? Oh, yeah, I was thinking Padme.
Yeah, or she had twins, because Kylo put himself into it.
Yeah.
Wow. It's my far-flung theory.
All right, well, that was our Star Wars vision. You guys something else?
Just BK, I hope you come back before Mando, like, or not Mando, Boba Fett.
Well, he's gonna have to come back and set this up again.
Yeah, well, no, I just mean I want him on the show. This was amazing. You carried so much of this. I want you back.
Yeah, it's definitely for Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
you gotta be in for Star Wars.
Yeah.
We need your input. What's up?
October 12th is the comic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's read the comic. We could do like a quick one for that.
For what?
For the duel, the first
No,
episode.
it's a novel, Jared. It's not a comic.
It's a novel, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, thanks,
I'm trying to read that. We're about to have Star Wars book though.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I gotta finish Dune first. Well, maybe we'll have you on for Dune.
I need to start Dune. Yeah, I'm gonna get on Dune.
See, we're not gonna have you on for Venom, which is our next episode, because you're just gonna hate. He's so soft on Star Wars, but I guarantee BK would rip apart Venom. And we're gonna have fun with Venom, because it's gonna be a fun movie, everybody. We're not bringing back BK.
Tom Hardy
is
gonna
too
do
full
that
of
weird voice again?
Yeah, see? See how quick he is to judge that? He judges Venom all harsh, everybody, internet. But give Star Wars shows fucking A ratings even when they sucked. Fucking haircut. Alright, we're ending it with that. We're ending it with a poor haircut.
New favorite Jedi.
Worst Jedi.
I'm gonna be that Jedi for Halloween.
Thanks, Jerry, for helping out tonight.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for
again,
watching, Sadu.
Thanks, BK, for being here.
Yeah,
Stu,
thanks,
if
BK.
you go back and watch the ending, thanks. You're a one and only fan. And if there's someone new's watching it, leave some hate in the comments. Person wins a prize. No one still's done it. Wait. Hate in the comments.
Bring on the hate.
Yeah. Venom next week.
To fear.
Venom.
We'll get it out here. And we are